Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Antipodes. This is the NRS Esports Mortal Kombat Pro Competition for Oceania. Number one, a top eight. My name's Ultra David. What's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up, Ultra David? Now, I know this is a region that, has some history here. Obviously, everybody knows who Wazinator is. Got just outside of top eight at Combo Breaker when MK11 first came out. But, obviously, we want to know more about, the rest of the talent that's here in this part of the world. And I'm really excited to see some fresh faces, so to speak. And just to really understand, what other talent is out there. But let's go
Look, man,
through.
yeah. I mean, we know Waz well. He's been here in our part of the world more than a few times at this point. We have, had familiarity with other parts of the scene in Australia and New Zealand in the past, but I'm very happy that Waz was able to give me a bunch of info. All the players were able to give me a bunch of info about themselves because I want to know more about them so that we can tell the stream, right? I want everybody to know more about the players in a part of the world that much of the rest of the world doesn't pay enough attention to very often. I think this is a great chance to do that.
It definitely is, and that's really why I'm excited about this whole, season of, pro competition, intercontinental combat. I feel like a lot more spotlights have been shined or are going to be shined across the world. A lot of different regions being represented, especially Liga Latina, and I can't wait, man. Everybody, and we've seen it. Like I feel like in more recent times, just as the FGC as a whole, we've seen star players coming out of pretty much nowhere, and you really, really gotta fall in love with those Cinderella stories.
I 100% agree with you. So let's talk about who we have in this top eight, right?
Mhm.
We can think about that for a little bit. I have put on Twitter a link to the bracket, but hey, you can check it out right here for yourself as well. And starting off at the top, we have Bijiga FGC versus GG Waz. We have Swazi versus Sagat 83. And loser side, as you can see, we have Wi-Fi Scorpion, a name that I absolutely love, versus All 2011, and then Halak 007 versus Ketchup Llama.
Yeah, and
Little look
all
at
these
who we got here.
yeah, yeah, and all these flags look very similar, but there is one that's slightly different, and that's Swazi. Swazi is actually the lone Kiwi or the lone New Zealander that is
Mm-hmm.
in this top eight. Getting through everybody else, and right now still has both tournament lives completely intact here. This is a double elimination bracket, so obviously the loser side, they got one life to go. Everybody's on the winner side still has to lose twice to be out of the tournament completely. And if you're going into this top eight, you're going in from the winner side. You got to be feeling good, knowing no one has been able to take you down. But the deeper into the bracket it gets, the harder and harder it is to not lose that first tournament life, especially when you're going up against other great players too.
Yeah. And let's talk just briefly about some of these players. We'll talk more as we hop into it. But as you mentioned, Swazi is from New Zealand, so he's the only person who's not from Australia. But the rest of the players actually have a cool little rivalry going on between Melbourne and Sydney. Melbourne, I should say, and Sydney. So these players are going to know each other well in many of these cases. In fact, we asked specifically from some of them to give us a quote, give us some thoughts about how you think about matching up against these players in the top eight. And a couple of them were like, well, I play against them all the time. So, we'll see how that's going to have an impact on this, right? Nothing new to me. Here I am having played against them before. So it's going to be players who know each other well, who have a good insight into what to expect from each other. And that can produce some really fun matchups a lot of the time because we end up seeing things that are maybe not the kinds of decisions that you would see if, players are playing against each other for the first time. They're on the first Yomi layer. They haven't ascended yet to the zaniness quite yet. These players are going to be there already.
Yeah, no, that's very, very true. I mean, some players can play awesome in a casual setting. Some players crumble under the pressure. And not that like everything's on the line right now, but there are points at stake here. And every top eight, every week, it's gonna matter. or not every week, but every session here, every opportunity is going to matter when it comes to building up those points at the end. And some people play completely different under pressure. Some people play a little bit more reserved when they're playing casually, not wanting to go for, or more likely to go for like bigger risks rather than like just sitting there and like blocking. So yeah, I mean that could change up easily and at a moment's notice here.
So this is the second week of this year's Mortal Kombat Pro Competition. So if people aren't quite as familiar with how it works this time, I think we should just briefly address each region. So there are 3 broad regions, right? You got the North America, you got the Liga Latina, and you have Intercontinental Combat, which this is a part of. Within each of those sections, there is a sub-region, and within Intercontinental Combat, you have Europe West, Europe East, the Middle East, and Oceania, which is what we're going to see, of course. And so within that sub-region, there is this series of tournaments going on for each sub-region. Each time the players play, there are going to be points on the line, 350 points for first place, all the way down to 5 points for 25th place. So, it's going to be sort of a classic Pro Tour structure of trying to get the most points. At the end of the season, each regional sub-area will have its finals, and then at that point, there will be payouts. So there's $60,000 total throughout the system, and then that's kind of apportioned all over the place to each of the different sub-regions, again, including Oceania, where we are tonight.
Yeah, so again, a lot of opportunities to put yourself out there, put your name out there, put your region out there, and just do what you love doing, playing Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 11, as we all know, has drastically changed in the last few months. And not only that, but also this season has been turned completely on its head. Not just with some drastic gameplay changes, but also just the fact that we can now use custom variations, open up a whole a whole world. I know we both play a lot of the same characters, and
yeah, we do.
I don't know, but every time I see your tweets about like what abilities you're equipping to your characters, I'm kind of doing the same thing.
Okay.
And it's just fun to see that you can kind of mold your character more so to your play style. Like if you like to go for mix, if you like to go for just safe or hit confirmable damage, if you like command grabs, which I'm sure that's like the first ability that you look at. Is me too. I'm the exact same way. It's like if it's got a command grab, I'm gonna try to use it and then try to do abilities that kind of complement the command grab. Depending on the command grab, if it's a high or mid, some people like to jump or neutral duck to avoid it, and then that's all the abilities that I equip.
This is definitely the biggest thing to watch for, and it makes discussing things like matchups really difficult now, because what do you say when a matchup? How do you give a matchup number to something in which 2 different characters can have such drastically different playstyles? This is not even just like how it was with the variations. Of course, there have been 2, then 3 variations before, but there was like a best variation usually, or maybe like there were 2, but rarely 3. And so in practice, you could be like, well, like maximum Kotal versus maximum Jade is this, right? Like you had a kind of an idea, right? Now that's all out the window. It's all completely whatever you want to do. I totally agree with you. The biggest thing to watch for, we're all learning too. Okay, so if you're at home and Arma and I are like watching something that has some custom move that we've never seen before, cut us a little bit of slack, all right? We're trying to do our research out here, but I mean, if you saw the We Play thing earlier today, even some of the top players in the world have not done all of the research yet. It's going to be a while still.
Look, I'm just going to tell you, David, I've got my 2 tabs of Combat Academy open, ready to look at to see what moves can be equipped, what moves are in the core base of the character. It's funny when you look at like the whole roster. Some characters have like a lot more core moves. Right now, it looks like we got some Joker versus Jade action. Wazinator, I believe we saw. Yeah, we saw a lot of Jade out of Waz during Combo Breaker, the last Combo Breaker in 2019, or most recent. And I feel like this is a character that he tends to go to. I feel like sometimes he kind of gets, Let's see what kind of ability.
Not used to yet. So he's got Delia's Dance, the little low wiggly bob, and then I think I saw Kaboom for Joker, but I guess we'll see. what's going on there. Lots of people are talking about both of these characters. With customs, they can be quite interesting. Everybody knows Waz. This is a brief intro, by the way. This is 3 out of 5. But we also asked him about the players here. He says the guys in the top 8 are really strong these days, and I'm glad to see them leveling up a lot. I think they'll be close, but fun matches and good practice for all of us, which is, I think, a really nice thing to say about the rest of your local scene.
Oh yeah, definitely really nice, encouraging words here from Waz. I love how he threw up the purple stuff right as that Jack-in-the-Box was coming right at him. And it was just like in the nick of time able to go through it. Good call out of the forward throw, getting right through that forward roll, which is a very common option when your back's up against the wall. Tried to go for the throw mix here. Now, Joker doesn't have any credit flows, but you know, I think he was just kind of giving Waz a little too much credit there.
Yeah, as a result, Waz gets to run away, just chip away a little bit here and there with the air glaives. It's not a lot at a time. There's the Delia's dance that low. Here's the string. Yep, he's got that as well. So we're seeing a couple of the custom variations coming out. This is still very doable here. Oh no! Very much alive. Joker doesn't get much
have it
off this stuff.
Oh, not enough and not in time there. Wazinator able to take that full Jack-in-the-Box hit, even if that glaive somehow didn't make it there in time. With only 9 seconds left on the clock, there wasn't many options left. Nice down 4 here from Joker at max range, trying to just kind of nick the toes here of Wazinator, but he is pushing him closer and closer to the corner here, where Jade is going to run out of real estate, if you will.
Yeah, now this is party time for Vegeta. He's here. He's got to make it count this time. He threw it out of the corner last time. You know he wants to take advantage. But Waz is out there, and you got to really respect those low pokes from Jade nowadays with the Delia's dance afterward.
Yeah, it's a little tricky because you don't know if they're going to amplify it. You don't know like exactly what you're coming out of. Block stun. Good freaking blow. A lot of damage here, especially thanks to the corner. And now what Joker has equipped here is the boxing glove, which gets rid of the mix element for a lot of Joker's things, but it adds on and tacks on so much combo potential, especially there in the corner.
This variation is super strong, and I get why we're seeing Jade against it, because the chase down of the Jack-in-the-Box, plus afterward, once he's got you into the corner and he can deal so much damage at any one time, this is the neutral monster anyway, and with this loaded, I feel like you're really maximizing that.
Yeah, Jack-in-the-Box is also a core move, so no matter, unless you pick a ability that replaces it, you're gonna have it, no matter what you Air glaives here from Fascinator. And now this time I think he learned from throwing her out of the corner. Definitely not worth it. Like even if she techs the corner side, it's better to just keep that offense. But right now, Jade wiggling out of a lot of things here, throwing up the purple stuff, so projectile will not hit her. Oh, what a
I like the idea with the intended whiff punish right there, because there is a really, really big windup in that string, but it just wasn't quite on the right spot. So yeah. Game 1 goes to Waz again. This is first of 3 each time. As far as Vegeta goes, we asked him for some thoughts as well. His thoughts basically on the bracket, right? What are your thoughts on this top 8? He says, if I beat Waz, I'll win. That's his view here. He's coming in here pretty confident, pretty hot. And as far as his quote, he says, Melbourne greater than Sydney. Uh-oh, we got the little regional rivalry coming out. I love to see it.
You do love to see it. Region pride is, it's all in good fun. Obviously, we don't mean anything malicious by it, but it's just, you want to represent, your hometown. You want to be a hometown hero. You want to, say that your region is better, and that's partly because you're better, because you're the great player. And I don't know if we had any kind of variation change. Maybe, now that you can equip, you can use your custom variations. Depending on certain matchups, you might want to use an ability just for one specific matchup or one type of player, but it looks like we're just going with Kapow and the jumping gesture here from...
I said Kaboom earlier, Kapow, right.
Yeah.
I gotta get all these move names now, dude. In my head, I have fake move names for every single one. I never knew the real names for stuff, and I'm still figuring that part of things out. Okay!
It's definitely a lot easier to just kind of... I mean, I like to describe the move. Sometimes the name doesn't do it justice.
You called it the boxing glove earlier, which I totally understand.
I did. Yeah, absolutely.
Kapow, dude. All right, well... it's quite a similar opening here for Waz, kind of running away, stabbing in occasionally with the down 4 and Delia's dance, and that, yeah, you can see how much Vegeta would love to press buttons there, but it's just, you really have to think about that. Now that is, I believe, minus 13, if not amplified. But like you said earlier, the mix-up is she can amplify or not? On amplify, it's fine.
Gets worse.
Yeah. Do you want to wait for it and find out, or do you want to not challenge and, you know, let the opportunity completely slip you by?
Try for the quick punish on down 4. That would have been real nice. Waz again getting the space. Okay. That's the name of the game for him. Putting on the glow, going back here, just chipping away. It's a little bit of hit and run. The thing is, you know, try to get him in between. If Vegeta finds the opportunity, we've already seen 400 plus damage is going to come pouring out of those boxing gloves.
Oh yeah, a lot of damage, especially here. If that next hit does connect, and Waz decides to jump out of the corner on wake up, forward jump just to get out of dodge, get out of a bad situation. Now she's got a lot more room to wiggle. Beautiful whiff punish there, ducking under the eye. Almost had a crazy conversion, but able to keep the momentum right there. You know, I noticed that down forward Jade at max range does not go into the Delia dance very well. Almost 30%. Here comes the dropping gesture, but I guess that does count as a projectile, not as a physical hit. And that should be enough for the round. No!
What did he chip? Okay, yes. Come to the rescue right there. Out of the box comes the W.
Yeah, that's definitely a favorable trade in that scenario. Like the fake out there with the forward 1, a stagger, if you will. You know, there's a little bit of recovery there on the move on block, but, you know, able to kind of mask it well with a quick dash.
Very safe stuff here on both players' sides. Neither one taking the big risk. So, can she punish? I was just going to say. That makes sense. Pretty negative.
Oh yeah, advancing special moves, very, very good against the boxing glove. But some characters just don't have access to things like that. Jade, however, is not one of those characters. You can absolutely nitrate it.
Well, Vegeta's got the corner. Last time, Waz just jumped out.
Yeah, let's see what he does this time.
Oh man, it's whether to go for Delia's dance at the end or to complete the thing like that. That is, I mean, if you're trying to false block that gap, no dice anymore, right? With Delia's dance, it interrupts right there, and then does, with the amplify, get the end of the round, and so it's 2-0 for Waz.
Yeah, very tricky stuff, man. You just don't know, like, how many times is she going to be swinging that around? Is she in range? Is she not in range? And, you know, good decision making here from Waz, jumping when you need to jump, you know, holding your ground, pressing your buttons. And, you know, not necessarily like in his favor, but it was, I feel like he was in control for the most part, especially in the neutral, especially when, you know, he wasn't up against the wall, able to kind of freely move, utilize that down 4 range. I mean, Jade's down 4 has been the fuel of my nightmares since the beta. Like, I hate it. That down 4 was like, it almost felt like you just couldn't do anything about it. Obviously, there's options there, and obviously she doesn't get anything out of it other than a lot of frame advantage, especially now with the recent patch. I saw some Jade players were very happy and rejoicing of the fact that their down 4 has a lot more hit stun, so it's a little easier to lock, you know, disrespectful players down who, you know, don't want to block. I actually didn't see the loadout. Was that the same, David?
It's a different name, you know what? I gotta keep in mind that I need to pay attention to that. No, honestly, dude, I didn't pay attention either. We'll see if he comes out with the Kapow or not.
Yeah, let's see if it's Kapow or the Bird Boy Beatdown, which is what the Kapow glove replaces. Regular Jack in the Box. Oh, does hit her airborne, not able to convert. A funny little situation here. But going to be going with a forward throw, pushing her a little closer to the corner. Interactable in play, but no, decides to amplify the Jack in the Box.
Feels like Waz has made all the right choices about when to turn on the glow and not. I mean, that tool of Jokers, oh man, that is like, it's not a lot of damage for Jade, but just her ability to have it is so nice.
What a
not breaking. Here it is.
Yeah, breaking at the very end.
Was he trying to bait out another Kapow at the end? I see that as an ender sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I know if it does whiff and you're close enough, you are able to punish it in a certain situation. But yeah, that could have been it. I feel he doesn't glow until he sees that coming. You know, he kind of just waits for the opportunity. I like the little hop there at the end to avoid as much chip damage as possible. Good block of the overhead, but he didn't block the fatal blow part of it because Waz is positioning him. Waz conditioned him so hard for the first 2 games. He kept going overhead into the Delia's dance, which hits his low, but instead Waz goes for overhead into overhead fatal blow. It's hard.
I mean, what a risk to take. I don't know. For a gameplay style that has been so hesitant to take with any risks so far, right? He's been at the far side of the screen almost as much as he can, rarely up close, and even when that happens, almost always just safely with Delia's dance. For him to all of a sudden bring out that huge risk, it worked, and part of why it did is that just was not what Vegeta expected after all this time. So now the chase down comes in for Vegeta. He's got to get back in.
Very out of
able.
Yeah. And, even when he makes contact, Waz is just ready to block, ready to go on defense. Never mind getting punished finally here. Now, I know that is a pretty tight punish, but, Vegeta is doing a great job of just getting that out the very first possible frame here. Good anti-air to just keep Waz in the corner here, keep him on the ground. No jump, no fly zone. I don't know what Waz was doing there. He wasn't blocking, but it didn't say counter hit, so my assumption is that he was actually trying to jump in that scenario.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. It's anything for Vegeta. If he finds any bit of chip, there's going to be glow, of course. Right, I love so he understood that there was going to be glow, dash up, down 4 as a result, which you cannot glow through.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Boxing Glove was going to be canceled right after that one, if it did even get blocked here for a last breath situation. Look at that range there, but Vegeta's being very, very patient. He's understanding, okay, I can't fight her at that range. I gotta block and wait for my opportunity, because Joker's got some great buttons. That you don't even have to be that close for. Forward 1, a big, wide mid that reaches pretty far. Goes wheels. Wazenator just kind of keeping him back, and he's amplifying it there to keep it, I guess safe in that, at that range. So, very gray area whether that is safe. If you're up close, depending on who you're going up against, some characters can punish that.
Vegeta finds it now. Oh, that was so close. And the low again. Waz is just nickel and diming down. Oh, huge opportunity. Not
if you give it to a button.
Oh, of course it's the back air glaive for Waz to take it 3 games to 0 and move into winners finals.
That last game was incredibly close there. I mean, if Vegeta did not commit to a button there, went forward, I believe Jade's forward 2 whiffed, that move has a lot of recovery. That string has a lot of recovery. So when that thing whiffs, but the fact that he committed to jump 3, it gave him more recovery, and he wasn't able to punish, in time. But that could have been a completely different story, because that came down to the wire, man. That came down to the wire. And thinking back on the end of round number 1 in game 3, where it went right into the overhead into fatal blow, just to complement that condition of going overhead into the low, it hurts. It hurts. Now I know it's
one for sure.
Yeah. Some people will say like, oh, you just got to react to the glow. You got to stand up whenever, obviously because it's a very distinct animation going into the fatal blow. So, you got to kind of remember, because some fatal blows hit his lows, some hit his overheads. And I guess this is kind of like one of the more, not that fatal blows are rarely seen in Mortal Kombat 11, but they're unique moves that you do pull out. And, if you want to know matchup, you got to know the full properties of somebody's fatal blow, or super in this case, if you're playing.
It's not a fast one for her, right? I mean, I looked it up just to be sure. It's 27 frame startup, but like you said, just was so committed, expectant of the low and the Delia's dance that's why that worked. Didn't get a chance to say that the quote that Waz gave us, that he wants me to say on the air, that I'm, is please let me anti-air. And I can't imagine that a Jade player needs help with anti-air. Can you I mean, among the characters, and you're going across the cast trying to rate the down 2s in the game.
It sounds like down.
I don't understand how somebody. Anyway, so there's Waz hanging out in winners finals. I think he's a player you got to look at as maybe the favorite coming into this, and he's making good on that so far. So we are going to head over to the other side of this winner's side bracket, where we will have Swazi 69 versus Sagat 83. The players gave us some thoughts here. From Sagat, we had my top 8 feels like deja vu, as I always come across these same people. So again, I mean, there's definitely a lot of familiarity here when it comes to the players and their familiarity with each other. It's a high level, you can tell. Was Waz had to say about him was that he started playing back in 2015 in the early MKX days. He's been in many top 8s, always been a huge Lao fan, really enjoys the creative characters, usually doesn't care about taking big risks, and always plays some unique stuff, which is a play style that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, you love getting surprised, even just looking at like this weekend, seeing, what players have been doing in a tournament setting with these custom variations when a lot of money's on the line. You'll dig in deep. You'll see what is everybody not looking at, what are people not understanding how to fight against, and they'll use it to their best advantage because that time might run up. They could get nerfed. People could figure out how to fight against it. But I definitely love seeing some Kung Lao and seeing he definitely has a lot of unique abilities. Like there's some characters where like their abilities don't really define their playstyle. I feel like Scorpion's one of those characters, where all the different abilities that you can give the Scorpion, like, yeah, they add like a move, but it doesn't really change like the playstyle for the most part. I mean, he's always going to have teleport, and he's going to be relying on his normals a lot. Whereas like a character like Kung Lao, when you see his or you see that tournament variation 3, that one was out of left field, like completely different.
Yeah, quite different. So what do we got here? So we have Buzzsaw and Air Teleport. And then what I see, Rising Star, Pissed Off, which we're seeing a lot of from Johnny's now, and then the last one I didn't get to in time.
I think it was the Knuckles. I just saw the down input. I want to say it's the Knuckles that add block damage. But we'll see in due time. Probably going to be seeing it after some really advantageous combo enders.
One of my favorite things about the custom variation system as well is that you get to name your variation, and I'm always looking on the lookout for creative, funny names. And that's all both players in this instance right here. Swazi from New Zealand and Sagat from Sydney in Australia.
I love how Swazi's variation name is Loud. He made it for this matchup, just specifically. Loud, better than
Round 2, fight.
Right, straight
holding the range right there. Yeah, the horizontal control for Johnny is always so strong. Yeah, here's Buzzsaw. Swazi knowing what to do.
Yeah, little different, a little unique. Kind of able to, once you get it out, you can kind of apply offense while, being under the cover of that. But there are ways around it. We saw a lot of tech videos coming out in the last few weeks. Good patience here from Swazi, just kind of waiting for the opportunity, waiting for the roll. Unfortunately, gets hit with some super plus frames, and then back thrown for a crushing blow. A lot of damage. Here comes the Buzzsaw, but able to poke right under it. Now Johnny Cage definitely's got some great range low pokes here, and that's what it's been pretty much utilizing to kind of get through this Buzzsaw pressure.
I like the idea there from Sagat. He's got the grab now. All he needs is a couple of hits. Coming in for the pressure, just very safe.
Yeah, just holding onto that. Poking back. Looks like it was,
Even Chip will do it! Yeah. There it is.
I mean, he was able to block one more thing. He had one more bar for the last breath scenario, but, when it gets that tense, that down to the wire, not everybody, you can't be staring at your meter. You stare at your meter, you're not going to see what you're doing, what you're blocking against.
I love this little back and forth that we're seeing from Swazi right now. And by the way, his fireballs have been surgical against even a character with the air mobility like Lao. He has air teleport.
Yeah, definitely has air teleport. And not only that, Kung Lao's jump arc is very strange, very different. And having access to dive kick really does help kind of mess with your opponent in terms of timing. Trying to go in for some kind of normal, ends up getting caught there by the Buzzsaw. Wow. Good block and beautiful punish there, reminding everybody that those short hop overheads are all unsafe in this game. You just gotta be on.
Those are reads right there. Great reactions by Swazi, who just with very safe stuff, just classic Johnny stuff. Again, that horizontal movement, the big control. That's
oh no, hold on, dash
forward.
Oh man.
Oh, don't do it yet. It's only one game, buddy. Don't get out of yourself.
Look, man, it's Swazi versus everybody. All right, he's trying to take this home for New Zealand. Alone New Zealand.
Yeah, I asked him what city he lives in, and he said that he lives in New Zealand, and I was like, "That's a big city." He's from Auckland, if anybody's curious. His thoughts. Again, I asked everybody for thoughts. What do you want to say about this top 8? Your chances, your path, who you're playing against. You know, give me the scoop. His thoughts are, quote, I don't know. And then his other quote is buff sub. Buff sub.
Inspired.
Wasnader says he's very new to the scene. He's been playing MK11 for a while. Has a variety of characters and is always a threat to go up against. Usually plays something really cheap. Okay. He's also never entered an offline tournament.
That's an interesting one. But you know what? You really can't count someone out when they haven't been to an offline tournament. I mean, we look at this weekend. We saw Aberg doing incredibly well in his group, and that was his official, first time offline event, and it happened to be an invitational for a lot of money. Beautiful flawless block up 2 here from Swazi.
Yeah, that ender pissed off right there. A lot of damage backing on at the end. Here we go, though. Lau with a big chance. Sagat trying to capitalize. No, and it's not as much as it could have been.
Down 1 rising star, very, very good pressure. Even when you have to give up a defensive bar on block, I mean, just kind of keeping your opponent guessing is just such a good thing to do. And once they're guessing, you can go for throws. When they're looking for the rising star, looking to punish. Oh, somebody was looking for a duck.
Yeah, I'll say. After all that time, too. There were so many mids and pressure. There were buzzsaws, all that sort of stuff, and still Swazi was looking for grab. All right, well, it's caught in the corner nevertheless. Still.
Good throw tech there. I'm assuming he tried to throw him into the corner, and Sagat was kind of a little too on the ball for that. Spoken with down 3, taking advantage of those plus frames as Swazi tries to jump out, but unfortunately, instead of blocking, finds himself in a full combo in a really bad spot. More buzzsaw coming at you as that down 4 does get him out of there.
These techs are killer right now. Corner control, okay, out of the corner. And this time Swazi swaps.
I love Swazi's attention to detail, to just kind of dash up, block the buzzsaw, and get it out of the way. Big crushing blow, all unbreakable damage until now. Breaks out and...
Again? You give him each game? All right, wow. Again, that ender is super strong for Johnny. Pissed off right there. Blow up the armor. Good damage anyway.
I could use a few pints.
But for that last series, I really liked a lot of what we saw out of Sagat. His corner control was good. There were just a couple of really big reads that we saw out of Swazi that were effective, right? That was very good on Swazi's side. But as far as like the bulk of the gameplay time, in game number 1, I really felt that Johnny mostly controlled, it seemed. In that game, I wouldn't say that. I would say I mostly saw Kung Lao pressuring in the corner, the buzz tap coming out, the mids coming out, teching to maintain corner control. I liked a lot of what we saw, actually, still, even though when Sagat lost. I liked a lot of what we saw from him.
Yeah, no, I mean, you look back at round number 1, it came down to maybe he shouldn't have empty jumped and went for throw. I don't think it was a very obvious choice, but, it could have been Swazi who was, just kind of letting go of block in certain scenarios or trying to react to something. Had that been a mid, it might have been a different story. But, you always got to consider that when you go for throws in this game, it is a very, very, very big risk. You could eat a down 2 crushing blow. You can eat a micro duck into a full combo. It's just very scary stuff. So you always got to think twice about, is my opponent definitely blocking? Are they not seeing this coming? Especially high reactionary opponents like we're seeing right now in this top 8.
Yeah, both of these players have definitely impressed with reactions so far, both in throw techs and in blocking overheads.
Yeah, you got to know your opponent's string. You got to know, exactly your block pattern. So what? What's that?
Here we go, right back in there is Swazi. And just not letting go at all. This is like what we saw in game number 1 where it was just a ton of corner control. The Ender's gonna be big damage on this, almost 400!
Yeah, nearly 40% is not bad at all. Nice little empty jump into the down 4. Tries to go for a throw again, but I think he was just a little too far away. I don't think Swazi was letting go of block, but it just kind of sort of whiffed. I know that range can be a little deceiving here. Swazi looking for some kind of neutral jump punch like this MKX, but able to keep the momentum going. Tries to micro dash and go for the down 4, but instead finds himself in a big combo here. Good conversion and a very late breakaway. I don't know if I agree with that, but I guess it was a rather aggressive breakaway to try to get Kung Lao while he's spinning. And because of that, he's got no meter, no resources, up against the wall here. What can he do? Tries to get out with those highs, but that Kung Lao down pokes, those down 3s and down 4s, very good, especially that down 3. I saw a little out of the picture too soon. Oh.
It was a really, really good round, especially that last half of the round for Sagat. He started it by, I love the corner escape that he had of the buzz hat, then plus the teleport just as kind of a safe way to escape. And all the rest of that was kind of built on the back of that. If he could get to mid-screen as he is now, he seems confident.
Yeah, definitely more confident here. I see a lot less risky maneuvers or risky decisions here from Sagat, so he's definitely feeling at most comfortable here in the mid-screen. Buzzsaw hat to kind of keep his
cool.
safety. Yeah, and I know a lot of players.
That works out.
Oh, it definitely does.
On deck here.
This is scary. This is scary. Crushing Blow is loaded if he does decide to dip into it. He is in Crushing Blow win territory here, but we all know Johnny Cage, how deadly he is when he has that Fatal Blow dash cancel. Going into the sunglasses, big damage. Is he going to be able to? I mean, I feel like if he goes into anything here, it's going to hurt a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, took it into the tech even still. How brave. The hat is there. The hat is there. Can he chip it out? It's not going to be enough quite yet. And he might not get a chance. That will do it. Oh, man. Literally triple pointed away from the victory right there was Sagat 83. And instead, Swaz is going to come and 3-0 to punch his own ticket into winners finals.
The micro bag. Oh, man.
Gliding from downtown.
He had nothing. He had no bar there at all. Used the last breath mechanic. So even if he flawless blocked something, he was just going to die.
Well, it was very strong Johnny play. Again, that horizontal control is just a feature of the character, but used very, very well by Swazi. Able to get back in very consistently. We saw the reactions and the guesses on defense as well that didn't come up terribly often, right? It was more the case that he controlled, especially in game number 1 and game number 3. But when Sagat did have pressure, it felt like there was still a lot of good defense coming out of Swazi too. So it was both, right? The mid-screen sort of horizontal control into pressure that Johnny can do so well, but also the other side when he needed it. It was really competent gameplay overall.
No, it definitely was. I'm impressed all around. And, again, that's not going to be the end of Sagat's run. That was on the winner side still, so they're going to be going down to the lower bracket on the loser side, which we will be diving into now that the winners finals is solidified. It looks like it's going to be Swazi versus Wazinator, and we're going to see how the rest of it plays out. Who can get to the end, because it's not over until you're completely out. It's not over until both your lives are gone, because this is a double elimination tournament. And coming up next on the lower bracket side, we should have the link for you guys here in the chat. And I know David posted it on Twitter. So if you guys are just joining us and you're trying to follow along with, who is still in this tournament, in this top 8 for the Australia region. Coming up next, I believe we have Wi-Fi Scorpion and ALD 2011. Now I know we got some information on those players, David, but it looks like we're going. What do we have coming up? Right, yeah. So check out the Astro Gaming website. You guys just go to astrogaming.com. There's a lot of great products, including the products that we're using right now for this broadcast. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the face I wanted to see there, David.
You're welcome. Well, thank you to Astro Gaming. It's the official audio partner of the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition. All of our audio is powered by Astro for the entirety of the seasons. So thanks to them for that. Like you said, astrogaming.com is where you can go to find more info. Ooh, God, I got the side wrong. Ooh, check it out. Ooh. I will never get that right, dude. It's so difficult. I've been doing this for years and I will never get it right.
It's a super mix-up, like absolute mix-up. You look left, it goes right. It happens. Yeah, man, I'm really, really, yeah, I'm just thrilled with what we got going on here. A lot of great competition, and it's awesome. It's awesome to see, another region just shining as bright as they possibly can. Just to kind of, show everyone that, it doesn't matter where you're from, whether you have, more or less offline events. If you put in the time, you put in the work, with this incredible netcode, anyone can make it happen. Absolutely anyone can make it happen.
Wi-Fi Scorpion is the name that I love, and as far as his own thoughts, he says, "I'll do all right, eh?" And for his quote, he says, "Sup, Marie? Sup, Marie?" What Waz had to say about Wi-Fi Scorpion is that he's a pretty young guy. He showed up in the late MKX and was really strong in Injustice. He's super optimal and a really strong neutral game. Has been a Scorpion main since the game came out. Really fun to watch, so that sounds like something I'm excited about. As far as Ald, his own thoughts on things, probably not gonna get any dubs. First time in a top 8. I am, as a result, rooting for him here. I want to see it. His quote is, as you can see it on screen right there in the variation name, "Nerf sub, please."
I gotta agree. I gotta agree 100%
Nerf
here.
sub? Oh my god. What Watson said is that Ald is a Sonya loyalist up until Melina came out. As you can see, Melina's the character here. Hasn't entered too many tournaments, but when he does, he usually does pretty well. Definitely cannot sleep on him, even if he is sleeping on himself.
Definitely sleeping on himself here. Nice cancel here from the Scorpion Teleport, Wi-Fi Scorpion at its finest. Oh, what a micro duck. Beautiful thing here. Oh, doesn't get the punish on that short hop overhead. Good conversion here from Melina. That down 2, adding on a lot of damage in the middle of the combo. He loves doing it. He loves putting
right there.
Loves doing it. I mean, you put yourself at like slightly negative. You're like, okay, my opponent thinks it's their time to swing. If they do anything but down 1, I'm gonna be really, really happy. And honestly, like if you get down 1 out of a micro duck, what's the big deal? You got hit down 1.
Yeah, then now you take a slight mix-up right now for sure.
Yeah. Even if they're ready for it. That's going to be a big crushing blow from, max range there. Pretty much full screen from the Scorpion Spear amplified. Some stabby to the face.
Oh, nice. Wi-Fi Scorpion, I am seeing what we heard from Waz, which is that there's some optimal stuff coming out of this guy. Looking really good in a lot of decisions right there. Offense was great. Defense, the couple times it came up, not many times, but the couple were looking good as well. Those microdubs we talked about. So a lot of good stuff from Wi-Fi Scorpion right off the bat.
Yeah, I think he's establishing, what he wants to do right now. But I feel like, again, this is the first of 3. Things can change, players can adapt. Yeah. But right now, I think he's sticking his hand in that cookie jar a little too many times, for my liking. It's something that you can try to adapt to, try to go for mids, that if you've got fast enough mids, which I believe Melina should for those scenarios, because you got to, add on the frames of, the fact that you're negative after Scorpion does things like back 3, and then the time that you take to actually duck, because they're just doing it. He made that decision to micro duck as soon as he saw that his opponent blocked that back 3. He said, "I'm just going to micro duck. I just gonna do it. I'm just gonna micro duck, stand 1-1. That's it." So I want to see a little bit.
I believe her back 1's 10 frames, if I recall correctly. It's not very good range on it, but I feel like you should be able to do that after the Scorpion overhead, I should say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Could be wrong, but
I'm no Melina
there it is. Amplifying that.
Oh, he's a good chance on the whiff. No. Nothing quite there.
That move recovers really, really fast. It's very deceptive. Like every time I go for it, I'm just like always a little too late. A miss confirmed there. Now most Scorpion players, what they want to do is, you know, cancel the teleport. Oh, where was she? It blocks your animation.
Oh, trying for up too. Interesting.
Looking back
Specific
here.
call out. Wow. Wi-Fi Scorpion with no breakaway available. This is going to be a ton of damage. 328 into more pressure.
You don't want to get hit with that crushing blow when you don't have that breakaway. I feel like a lot of players save their breakaway against Scorpion for that forward 3 crushing blow. Like it almost always comes out. It is a very good button, forward 3. It's a great stagger by itself. It's a mid, not the fastest mid in the world, but I think fast enough to really be utilized well in a lot of different scenarios. Oh, connecting that back too, but he actually accidentally canceled out of the teleport. That should have been a full combo. We've been seeing, you know, a lot of high-level players, a lot of high-level Scorpions going into that.
I do sense kind of some tentative play on Ald's side. Okay, here's a big opportunity.
Oh, yeah, down to
Looking
crushing
for
blow.
the break, nothing.
Yeah, that's Melina's armor breaker, so unfortunately he didn't go straight for it. Back 3 does hit as an overhead, you gotta watch out for that. Trying to check him with that back 1 after the successful down 1 poke. This looks like a really, really bad spot for Ald. ALD.
He definitely is going for the mids now after blocking something that's slightly minus from Scorp. So he's trying stuff, you know, certainly, but at this point, even Chip and yikes! Coming in with the brutal to seal it. Announcing to the world with the flame breath as well. That's a 2-0.
You know, and it's a heartbreaker because if she had, you know, let's say, you know, a little bit more health, that would have been a full combo punish. But obviously, Wi-Fi Scorpion wouldn't do something like that unless it was going to, you know, grant the win, because that is very, very punishable whether you amplify it or not. And that was the right call. Perfect calculation. No misplay at all there.
Scorpion.
I'm happy to see more of the mids. I thought that was good. And we saw a bit of a risk that paid off for Ald in the duck under the throw for down 2. And I do feel like there maybe needs to be a little bit more risky play, you know, without advising a lot, but just the way that Wi-Fi Scorpion's been playing has been so prepared. And again, micro ducks on offense as well. It's something to pay attention to. So anyway, not Melina anymore. It's going back to the character that Was has let us know Ald was a loyalist to until Melina came out. So Air Soaring General, the Orbital Drop, and Energy Rings charge. Is this just man, now I'm forgetting the actual tournament variations that we played for like a year and a half. This is bizarre. I'm trying to remember the actual name of the move and forgetting as a result.
Yeah, you're talking about Ringmaster. I think Ringmaster had an air ring shot, if I remember. So I think one ability is different, which is the general one, air general one. Is that the multiple kick one? I'm not even 100% sure here. Maybe we can pull up Combat Academy.
In the meantime, 4.5 coming out, and whoever this player is killing it right now for all. Again, that kind of playstyle that seemed to be a little bit hesitant before, a little bit unwilling to take risks, seems like quite a difference now. Much faster, much more confident looking.
Oh yeah, and this is also a more, a character that, they've been playing for more than, just a few weeks, because Melina is very, very new. So, certain things, especially the Scorpion matchup, you could have a lot of things solidified here. Duck it under the throw, I believe. There it is.
Let's go.
Armor breaker.
What a read. Tried that last game and it did not work with the other character. This time it's all good. Look, I'm telling you, Ald looks so much more confident on Sonya right now.
I'm definitely seeing it, David. I'm absolutely seeing it here. Back throw in a bad spot here. Goes for the forward 3, but the nice delay wake up, able to get around it. Now Scorpion not able to block anything until he gets that bar. Yeah, I just went for it. Just went for it because, Wi-Fi Scorpion knew there's no chance to block anything, that it was a do or die in that scenario. Hopefully he hit him. Did not. Ald gets on the board.
Shout out to Ald. Yeah, everything just seemed so much stronger. Choices defensively, offensively, the movement, and even mix-ups that all tried in the past with Melina. Same kind of idea. Breaking early, for example, out of the combo. Last time just wasn't cutting it. This time it felt like everything did work. You could tell not just the confidence in terms of his most of the play with the character, but also in those little moments of ducking under a grab, of going for the armor breaker right away. That kind of stuff all worked out as well. So mix-ups are working and you're more confident on the character anyway. That's a great recipe for success.
Oh yeah, no, and that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing confidence. I feel like that's the underlining, truth here, is that this is just a very confident player, very different. All right, so Wi-Fi Scorpion, sticking with the same abilities here, Burning Spear and the Teleport Cancel, which takes up 2 spots. And it looks like the Soaring General is the armor breaker that we saw, and that can definitely be utilized really well. I believe Sonia's armor breaker before was the forward 3, which got her pretty much no damage. Right. You might have do a down 2 instead. Poking at max range there for the down 3. Able to tech really, really late. Now looking great here. Trying to go for the side switch. Does Flawless block that up 3, but not able to swing in time. I think Scorpion's up 3 is one of the better ones in this game. Very safe, very forward advancing. Forward throw with incredible Oki. Goes to the delay wake up, but instead now getting hit with buttons, knowing no wake up options are available after that. At 3, great overhead here from Scorpion at certain ranges. Oh my god, that was it! That was
big opportunity for Wi-Fi Scorpion dropped. Ald now with the pressure. It's hard to keep Scorpion in the corner, but here's a big opportunity for a lot of damage. It's not going to be enough. Tried to get extra frisky on the mix-up right there. It's not enough, and instead Wi-Fi Scorpion does, in fact, take the round. Puts himself at match point as a result.
Great duck there from Scorpion, getting right under that high and just going straight for a string and making sure that it's enough damage thanks to that Fatal Blow. But that Fatal Blow is a finite resource. Now that it's been used, now that it's hit, no longer available for the rest of this game. So he's got to win one more round without it. Good flawless block, but it looks like not able to get in there in time for a punish. Probably not punishable. Good challenge there in between the ring shots or the ring cancel here that was possibly going to happen with the stand 1 from Scorpion, able to get a good combo here, and just keeping Ald guessing over and over again. Strike or throw, strike or throw.
Oh boy, there's the break of course, but still coming down to the wire on this. Ald needs a few big series right here. Trying to chase Scorpion's difficult. At any point, that little bee could just buzz to the other side of the screen. So you see Ald waiting.
Just fighting back and forth here.
It's a chance! What else would it be? And Sonya, one of the issues with her, she's going for highs most of the time. And that's exactly what Wi-Fi Scorpion was looking for right there to get it. As we saw throughout that set. That's what won it for him in the end.
I feel like that's his plan A. Go for this, duck. If it works, keep doing it. They're going to keep falling for it. They're going to keep getting hit by it. And I was actually going to point that out with Sonya. She is a character that, despite how good she is, despite how great her results have been throughout that first year of Mortal Kombat 11, time and time again, I've heard Sonya players say she's got no mids, no fast mids. When you're comparing it to, other characters like Liu Kang, Jackie, Cassie, she's more of, the high starter strings. If you want to commit to mids, you pretty much gotta, go for the very slow forward 3, which leads you to pretty much nothing, or just stick it out with pokes and try to jail them afterwards after they disrespect your pokes. Then you can kind of go for the mix with either the low strings or the overhead strings into a lot of damage, which is why it worked without mids, because she was very high risk but also high reward. So even though he made that adaptation with Melina, using the back 1 like you said, which is 10 frames, that was a good way to stop those micro ducking attempts. But Wi-Fi Scorpion knows that Sonya's got no mid, so he's like, I'm gonna do it. What is she gonna do? Down 1 me? Big deal.
Yeah,
just keep doing it.
You're right. I do think that for Ald, it's nice. I mean, again, as we said, the thoughts from Ald were probably not going to get any dubs. First time in the top 8. I still think that there's a good takeaway from this, right? So there was a game that was, certainly looked better, right? That game that he won with Sonya, I liked a lot. Yeah. I think there's a lot to build on, a lot of positivity that can be taken away from this. I hope that it's something that we'll see in the future as well. and that all comes away from this thinking pretty positively about it. As far as the overall game plan of using down ones, down threes, down fours, low pokes in general, that is something that has gotten better in Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, right? There are more frames of hits on many of those now. And they're they're stabilized more or less, whereas they used to vary like pretty significantly. Now every character has enough frames to jail into a high, even if it's just stand one, right? You can at least jail on hit with a down three or a down one into something else. And so for characters that struggle to begin offense because maybe they really rely on high attacks, I think that is a buff, right? Is that enough? Is that as much of a buff as some people were looking for? I think that's something to be determined. We're still just a couple weeks into this thing, but that is something that characters can take advantage of now that wasn't as much there in the past.
Yeah. I mean, everybody wants that significant change, just to kind of make things feel like they're new or fresh, revamp their once lost urge to really grind out the game. But I think that's a really good approach to. I feel like NRS focused a lot on the universal changes rather than like, oh, let's over buff this one character and over nerf this other one. Where like they said, that they address the things with the pokes. I love the delay wake up change. Not having to worry about two different delay wake up options is way easier. And some characters, you just got to lab with them a little bit. But some characters have great options for covering both different timings of delay and not delay. All right, so
here we go. Now Halak. Yeah, Ketchup Llama versus Halak right here in the second beginning of top 8 losers side match. We got Devora. Buff Devora, they say. Oh boy. Big fan coming. Maybe in the setup, I believe I saw that there's the Oki bug. I believe that's what strips it through. Yeah, there it is.
Oki bug.
That's right. I respect that right there.
Don't even try to learn
that
name.
I know, yeah. I'm not confident at all that I got it right.
I like Oki bug. I feel like that's the first time I've heard that. I knew exactly what you're talking about. Again, the descriptions are a little bit better than the actual names. And there's the stabs that Devora has. Now she can amplify it or not amplify it on block, which kind of makes it a little tricky there. Sometimes you let her get away with murder. That's a big punish thanks to block. That punishment ball here after a blocked dive kick from Kung Lao. Right into the Oki bug.
That Oki bug doing its work. So are the stabby stabs, right? That's how Halak has gotten a lot of damage so far. Maintains some pressure. Orbital Hat comes in, does its own job. I like Orbital Hat well enough. That's a good descriptive name for me. I'll keep that around.
Yeah. Orbiting Hat. That's good. All right, keeping him away. And now I like the decision here from Kung Lao to kind of back off, knowing that those bugs have a certain amount of range. The Oki bug, unless you're right next to it, it's really not going to inflict anything. Oh, and I think that was Devora trying to go for an anti-air, but that's how decisive Kung Lao's jump kick is, how good it is. Even with a great anti-air like Devora's, it's not going to be the easiest thing to do here.
Oh wow, what a little stolen turn right there by Halak.
Yeah, so
not quite take advantage of the opportunity right there.
Yeah, Ketchup Llama probably should have gone, obviously hindsight is 2020, but should have gone for a faster move there, but instead was so sure that Havoc was going to respect any kind of frame advantage going to his opponent, but he instead said, no, I'm just going to press buttons. I'm just going to do it again. And if you're not 100% like on that perfect frame, or if your move is not fast enough to cover those gaps between one move and another, you got to really. That's why you see a lot more poking here from Kung Lao, especially. I mean, some people say that Kung Lao's down 3 got nerfed. I still think it's really good in that scenario. Down 3 would have hit and would have put him in a super duper plus frame situation where he could have gone for a throw or a slower strike move that he could hit confirm into a lot of damage. But that really wasn't the case. He was thinking like one step ahead too far and just kind of went with a slower move. And there's just no reason given to not just slam those buttons and poke back.
So both these players are from
Earthrealm
Sydney.
has enough
Halak,
incense.
his thoughts are, haven't played this game much since the Ultimate patch, so interesting to see how I go. Shoutouts to that. The quote is, give Cetrion damage, followed by an embarrassed face emoji. It's been around a while. Was later on in the MK11 days, probably the best player we had in Injustice 2 as well. He likes really heavy execution characters and tries to be as creative as possible, and I think this is a good character pick for that.
Oh yeah, Devore definitely is very,
no!
very creative.
So much damage potential lost right there, but that said, Halak's still with the life lead. And those stabby stabs are just slowly adding up, right? I mean, that ends up being quite a bit of damage in the end.
Yeah. Is he gonna use the crushing blow? No. That was a smart decision because he had such a huge life lead that no reason to come off that crushing blow resource. Maybe he just learned something in that specific scenario how to anti Kung Lao because so far in this set it seems like even with Devora's anti-air tentacle stab, it's very, very tough thing to pull off here. Great hit.
Right in time to be interactable. I like the idea of it. The bugs will come in. Or they hit kind of weirdly after all, and Ketchup Llama as usual gets some damage. Yes, here we go. A bigger. No, it's not much. Doesn't get out of the one. It doesn't get much out of the one, I should say.
I love that cancel there to kind of make Ketchup Llama like flinch a little bit there, thinking it was his turn. That could have been a huge confirm after that micro dunk.
Here we go. And no confirm right there from Ketchup Llama either. Who Waz calls Actual Maniac Lao. That was in caps. Actual Maniac Lao. Plays with his heart. And I think we're seeing that right now. Halak puts it 2 up so far. Waz also said he can easily overwhelm opponents. He showed up in Injustice 2 and really enjoyed it. Initially wasn't super into MK11, but now likes it a lot and plays it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's MK11. Like jumping from Injustice 2 to MK11 was very, very different. I feel like MK11 is a very unique game. One of the first things that stuck out about this game to me was the fact that there was no, like every knockdown is a hard knockdown. Like there's no tech roll, which has been around for a very long time in the NRS games. And I feel like it's almost something, hard knockdowns and not hard knockdowns is very common in a lot of fighting games. But in MK11, they just kind of, decided to completely throw that out the window and just say like, no tech roll. And make it a lot about this Oki and this Oki game, this Oki mindset of up 3s, up 2s, wake up buttons. So at first, I feel like a lot of people felt weird about this game when it first came out.
Well, there's been quite a few changes to it at this point, a lot of additions, and I think it's cool that Ketchup Llama's into it now. Congrats to him on making top 8, but he does need to win 3 straight right now to not get sent out of the tournament. The hit comes, no OS. Oh, what a neutral jump at that range by Halak. Confirm, Ketchup Llama in trouble, even if break, and so no break, yeah.
Yeah, I would probably hold on to the breaker in that scenario too. And not only that, but these abilities from Kung Lao, he really needs both bars. So coming off breaker really just kind of hurts him more than it hurts any other character. Nice sweep there at that range, catching his toes. Good hit confirm into the smoke bomb, as I call it, because of adjustment. There's the Oki bug. The Oki bugs.
Needs to make something. Here we go! And he just didn't quite the range, didn't get a 4-4.
Man, that could have been it.
Oh! Could have been it as well with the fatal, and instead Halak comes in and I believe takes the round. Yes, it's match point for Halak 007.
Round 2, fight.
13% is still a lot of damage here. Still a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's right. It's less. It was 140 before. Now it's 130. Yep.
1%. I mean, it helps, but it's still throwing in this game is very devastating, especially if the characters have a great Oki. Get up 3 here from Kung Lao. The right decision, a little risky as it is unsafe on block. Oh, man. In our wrist.
This is a lot. This is going to be tough to come back from here. This is a ton of damage. No breakaway yet. He's got it now. Doesn't end up coming up. And then what else would it be? Stab through and get it. 3-0 for Halak 007. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Play with your food. I've seen this go bad many a time. What never? Oh, he just wants
time. We're going to see the brutal.
How did his body change color so fast? It was disgusting. And that pose is even more disgusting.
That one is even more disturbing. Oh my god. What just happened?
Just flew away.
Okay, for sure. Well, that's the first set of matches that we have here for you. The first 2 on winner's side. We know that the winners finals are going to be between Waz and Swazi. If we can check the bracket briefly here. And then in losers round number 2, what do we got there, man?
Yeah, losers round 2, we got Sagat going up against Wi-Fi Scorpion. Sagat we saw losing a little earlier to Swazi. Pretty convincing fashion. Swazi just seems like a great player, and I can't wait to see that winners finals play out. And then the other side of losers round 2, we have Bajiga and Halak. We just saw right now with an incredible Devora play, incomplete control with the anti-airs, went to poke, the hit confirms into some really, really good damage and great Oki bug situations. Some characters have a little harder time dealing with Oki bug, but you can always adapt to that. You can always equip different abilities. So again, just because you saw these players playing certain abilities, certain characters, doesn't mean they're going to be playing that throughout the rest of the tournament, especially because these guys all know each other. They're all very familiar with each other's play styles, and I'm sure they have a certain method in their head to winning these specific matchups.
Yeah, I feel like even players who previously were really just single variation players have now expanded out to playing multiple variations per character. I'm doing that, for example. I think a lot of us are having that mindset now of realizing, look, we can change our characters around. There's a lot of stuff to check out. There's a lot of stuff to check out over here. Man, on this side of the screen, it's impossible to get this right. Rep your realm and visit the Pro Competition merch store. Browse apparel featuring your region's league and favorite Mortal Kombat 11 characters, as you can see on the screen, just over here on whatever side for you this is. I have no idea, but that's where you can check it out. You can see the International Combat Dragon there, the Pro Comp Scorpion, Melina, Sub-Zero, all sorts of stuff on deck. Check it out at Amazon.com/Mortal Kombat.
I know a lot of people really wanted to get their hands on like Mortal Kombat specific merch, and there it is, especially all you Melina stands. There's your chance to get exactly what you want. You want to represent Melina just as loud as you do on Twitter. You can do it in real life. But with that, we're going to be going to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot more top 8 action over from Australia coming your way. Sit tight.
No jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.
PlayStation. Looking for attention, I don't need the extra tension, cause I'm in the 4th dimension, trapeze high in suspension. Now don't bother with the haters, cause they all be imitators. We real life manipulators, get bit back up and see you later. I like me for me, I'ma be what I'ma be. I like me for me, I am who I wanna be. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself
Hey guys, Ketchup and Mustard here, and it's time to test your might in the Mortal Kombat 11 Open Series. Ready to rumble? Power on your PlayStation and head to the Events app, filter by type, and select a convenient date and time. Boot up MK11 and locate the PS4 Tournaments menu option. Click it to visit a familiar place, the Console Events tab. Sign up and prepare to play. Once registered, you can view your tournament details and check-in time. A notification will remind you to tighten your black belt and get over here for your match. Continue combat in the open qualifiers to close in on the competition. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the tournaments.
PlayStation. Who are you?
I'm your worst nightmare.
Any ring I step into is mine. End of the line.
Then this fight is now personal.
It is exhausting being so perfect.
Hello, welcome back. Glad everyone is still tuned in and ready to see the rest of this top 8 bracket play out. If you guys are just joining us, my name is Darth Arma. I'm joined by one of the pioneers of this art, Ultra David. Ultra David, I know you feel. Oh, you don't like. Did I catch you off guard? Come on, you're
No, it's
fine.
all good. It's all good. You know what caught me off guard was just trying to remember which side to look at. Hey, what's up, Darth Armo over there? I knew exactly where you were. Let's just refresh everybody what we're seeing in the bracket, if we could.
Yes.
I'm going to head out there and give you a little look-see. It's Sagat 83 versus Wi-Fi Scorpion, who looked very strong previously. And then Bijiga FGC versus Halak 007. We are going to be going to those losers' sides right now, as the winners' finals are going to wait just another round or so until we get up there. So we should be heading to Sagat 83 versus Wi-Fi Scorpion first, I would think. And in this match, again, Wi-Fi Scorpion, well, I guess we didn't mention it actually, only lost to Wazminator so far. And Waz, again, coming into this thing has to be considered the favorite. So to have only lost to Waz and to have had that really, really strong performance versus Ald, I feel like this guy is somebody that we need to be looking at as maybe one of the other favorites to take this thing, just based on that performance and knowledge of the only person who's beaten him so far.
Yeah, because again, it's Waz has kind of been seen as the most dominant player in this region, not just Australia, but this whole Oceania region, which is what we're representing here, Intercontinental Combat. And he, going down to him, you really can't kick yourself for doing that. You're there, especially if it's a close set, close games. A few micro ducks away from deciding certain things, but I can definitely see Wi-Fi Scorpion making it all the way through. I didn't see too much adaptation coming from him the last game. I want to see him mixing it up a little bit more, but for the most part, I was seeing a lot of back three into micro duck. Let's see how Kung Lao can deal with it in this certain scenario. Kung Lao does have some pretty good mids. Not sure if they're fast enough for this scenario, but Kung Lao also has a great throw strike game when it comes to getting poked by Kung Lao is a very, very annoying thing to do. So let's see how this matchup works.
So we discussed before we went to break that many players are using multiple variations. We kind of set that up, but in fact, it turns out that I believe these are both the same that we saw before. And Wi-Fi Scorpion starts out without getting much damage out of that, unfortunately for him. It's a big opportunity, but what an anti-air on spam 4 into the business. Okay, we're pretty deep into the mix-ups here. I see Wi-Fi Scorpion versus Sagat. These are two players. No, in fact, this is Melbourne versus Sydney. We have the little rivalry right here. The way that we've seen so far, that performance from Wi-Fi Scorpion, and the flawless even, was to me the performance of somebody who knows his opponent really well.
Round 2.
Oh yeah, I mean he knew when to call out certain things. Here comes the Buzzsaw hat, able to stop Scorpion from that back three. A lot of back threeing I see here from Wi-Fi Scorpion, but it is an overhead, so it's a little tricky. Speaking of overhead, didn't get punished, and again, didn't get punished in that scenario, but able to keep some pressure going here. Here comes the momentum stand for somehow getting hit, and somehow beyond that, able to convert, recognizing that lone amplified portion of that move was the one that sent him up for a launcher. Down one on the wake up to kind of get a little bit of plus frames here. Because of those plus frames, able to get a nice throw because of a blocking opponent. Nice little short hop right.
A lot of overheads in this so far.
Yeah, a lot of short hop for both. Yeah, I mean, outside of that, Kung Lao really doesn't have anything in the overhead department. But Scorpion does. We've seen the back threes coming out here, certain strings.
Oh, here we go! Nice!
That was risky. Every dive kick you see there coming out of Kung Lao, I mean, that could spell death. Especially if your opponent has Fatal Blow, you're getting a hit for at least 30% of your life. At least.
Now remember, in this round, in these mix-ups here, Wi-Fi Scorpion has the throw crushing blow loaded, so that's something Sagat is definitely paying attention to. Here we go! Big moment!
Yeah, you want to pay attention to your opponent's most likely. Oh man, the teleport does connect there. So much throwing happening here from Kung Lao. Poking down three from downtown at the full max range. Forward throw, not the great Oki, but you gotta mix it up sometimes. Comes the Buzzsaw hat pressure right afterwards. Those mids, those fists coming down to just kind of open up Scorpion best he can. Didn't go into, oh no. Did he have it?
Breaks away immediately, and now, oh, and just like that is to confirm that surely will do it as Wi-Fi Scorpion takes it. After so much of that round, looked really good for Sagat 83.
He had it. He had it in so many aspects of it. I mean, he hit confirmed into Buzzsaw Hat, which you definitely don't want to do if you can go, if you can go into spin or go into anything else. The rest of the string, that's going to be a little bit better. I feel like Buzzsaw Hat is a little bit more for pressure. And not only that, it was just the right call here from Wi-Fi Scorpion, robbing him there.
Back there was that moment I'm thinking about right before the throw that turned into the duck into crushing blow down two. There was a hit confirm on the mid, and yeah, it was the Buzzsaw Hat rather than spin. And, but for that combo route, that almost certainly would have killed. Sagat 83, I liked a lot the second round and the third round. I thought most of them were well controlled by him. It's just that last, 8 seconds of gameplay where Wi-Fi Scorpion dealt so much damage.
Oh man, that little scramble. I feel like it was less than 8 seconds. I mean, it was that throw, a little desperate. A lot of people don't like finishing rounds with throws because you're risking so much, and at that point it's like, why not go for the neutral duck if I'm already at such a disadvantage here? Back threes. Okay, does get blocked, so we're seeing a lot of great reactions here. Beautiful offensive flawless block here, and that's going to be a big crushing blow. Does it? Oh, he did have access to the breakaway. You almost, if you got the breakaway for that crushing blow, you got to do it. Beautiful micro duck here from Kung. Wow. Sagat 83 looking incredible here, getting some good damage, great corner pressure. Goes for the fake overhead and instead goes for the down three, super plus brain being right into the throw. This is going to be some good damage here in the corner. No, it breaking away, cutting the combo short.
Will it be another stolen round? Looks like it's not going to be. Sagat 83 takes it.
But it could have been.
It could have been, absolutely.
It could have easily been. I mean, ending the rounds there with the throw. I mean, we saw what Wi-Fi Scorpion did to you just one game ago when you tried to seal the deal with the throw. Like, that is so risky, so dangerous. Even the throws, keep him closer to the corner. Great Oki pressure here right on top of him. Scorpion with those buttons. Hitting the down two, but no crushing blow. I believe the high portion of that string was over. Forward three, a little short hop there for good measure. Charging up the spear to get that little bit of damage buff here.
That stand for anti-air is so good. For Wi-Fi Scorpion, it's not news that it's a good anti-air hitbox. It's that you have to have really fast reactions to make that count, especially versus a character who has a dive kick like
He just sticks his leg up there. It's not super fast, but again, if you press it early enough,
it's not a good hitbox, but you got to be really aware to make it work. So we're right back here into the mix of things where Sagat 83 is controlling things. That said, Wi-Fi Scorpion with those overheads really made them count.
Oh man. I mean, we're seeing strikes and throws.
We've been here before. Arma.
Oh man.
Almost
Okay.
exact same amount of life. It's not going to be over quite yet. So close. Yeah, he woke up for forward threes. Interesting. So he was shooting for the moon right there. If you think about it, he was swinging for the fences on that.
Yeah, I don't know what the mindset was there. Like what could have been coming his way for that forward three to connect. I believe he woke up with it maybe twice or at least once before with that, but it's not really working. It's not a very fast move. He could be doing it to try to just catch his opponent like crouching without blocking, as it does hit as a mid, but I'm not sure what the mindset was there. Not sure what the mindset there was for Wi-Fi Scorpion.
So we'll see if there are any changes here. So far we've only seen the one variation, and it's good, but let's see what he thinks.
Now, I do see here in our...
what I asked.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we seeing here?
He said that he also played Spawn and Fujin, but we have not seen that yet. It's been all Scorpion.
No. I mean, you got to live up to the name. This is Wi-Fi Scorpion,
Right.
who's definitely not playing on Wi-Fi. If you guys are familiar with the rules, you cannot be playing on Wi-Fi in order to participate in these tournaments. It's got to be wired connections all around to get the best possible net play experience. Oh my God! 3 throws in a row.
Yeah, after all of those short hops, after the 4-3 pressure that we've seen, back one, all that sort of stuff. Now it's really capitalized with a lot of grabs here. Sagat.
That could have been a big whiff punish here, but, just kind of decided, I've got a huge life lead, I don't need to take any kind of risk, because Kung Lao never seems to stop swinging. But yeah, he's doing a lot of that short hop fake into the low, and I think Wi-Fi Scorpion's catching on to it. Good conversion. The side switch for the corner positioning here is going to get any kind of buzz on. No, goes for the back throw, anticipating possibly the throw mix. The Wi-Fi Scorpion going with a punish, completely textbook here, knowing exactly how to get as much damage as possible on the board. Not the easiest thing to keep in your head when you're, dealing with all these different scenarios. Oh no, the teleport doesn't work.
Will he cash? He does cash out. I was gonna say, yeah, that makes sense. He would have left his opponent alive, and you've already seen how dangerous Wi-Fi Scorpion can be on the comeback.
Oh yeah,
So
when he's down to that last,
is gone.
When Wi-Fi Scorpion's down at 5%.
Yeah, scary times.
Good conversions here with the buzzsaw hat right in the middle of that combo. And again, saving the day. Not letting Scorpion get away with the things he wants to do. Not letting him get that full combo from the teleport. Good reactions here, but unfortunately didn't amplify it there for more damage. He might have not had the bar. Very tough to see so many things happening so quickly, so fast. Trying to go for a little shimmy here, but Sagat is deep.
That was so good.
Not fighting. He is not fighting. He did not take the bait.
He knows that if he can take grabs, right? He can take another couple grabs. I don't think that there's a crush and blow throw lined up on Scorpion quite yet. I don't remember that happening this game. But certainly if he gets hit right now, he'll lose, right? So take the throw rather than that. Looking for the hit confirms. Wi-Fi Scorpion. There's the hat. This time
trying to shave
but Shiv has really added up. Yeah, dude. Wow.
Oh, back to back.
To dance over the down 3, by the way. It got it right through. Swing round right here. We'll go up 2-1. This is big.
Yeah, that back 3 definitely a great little low crush in certain scenarios. A lot of people like to poke after Scorpion cancels the teleport. Again, what a great anti-air. Speaking of, here comes down 2. That big hat coming right at your chin. The down 3, countering anything Kung Lao was trying to do. I mean, how many exchanges have we seen like that so far? I don't know whose favor it is afterwards. I mean, Scorpion's got to use meter, and Kung Lao, a little bit less here.
Super important lack of breakaway right there. Keeps Scorpion alive. Escape fail here. Not gonna matter though. Next grab will do it.
Yeah, no matter what direction, no matter what scenario.
In there, the safety. He can't do that again, and it's in fact the big read on the dive. Wi-Fi Scorpion with the capital of justice and 1 into big fatal. Didn't need to do that, but he wanted to make us all watch the animation. I appreciate that. He won the game for 1 as Wi-Fi Scorpion. Very interesting game right there. There was a lot of back and forth. In the mix-ups, there was back and forth, and who was controlling the stage, there was a lot of back and forth both ways. That was a really good one.
Oh yeah, it's very tough. I think Scorpion, because he's got one of the best teleports in this game, it's very tough to force him into a corner. Back in the old MKs, Scorpion couldn't teleport out of a corner, but in this one he absolutely can. So it's a little harder to not have the tides turn on you when you're pushing Scorpion there. So I feel like a lot of people are usually very content with just playing it wherever it lays, mid-screen, up against the wall, but a lot of great decisions there. But I feel like towards the end, Sagat got a little desperate. I didn't see the tendency to dive kick at all in that game. I mean, he wasn't going for anything crazy, but right there at the end, I guess to him, he was like, it's do or die, man. I'm so tired of this right now. I want to take a breather. It's do or die, but he's not out of this yet. He can win these next 2 games very easily. Good jump over there with the jump in 2. Wi-Fi Scorpion, anti-air of his own.
Yeah, he's definitely been keeping an eye on that. Into a bit of pressure here. Got 83 tries to get through. The hat comes to the rescue yet again. We've seen that 3 or 4 times so far.
Yeah, I almost wonder if like will he get hit by the hat if he doesn't amplify it? That's a strange little side switch there. The
I love that kind of stuff right there. Yeah. Oh, juggle, beautiful. Can he steal the round on this? Not quite, but even chip. Go for it. Okay.
I guess we're a very solid up 3. I mean, it is an unsafe up 3, but it's got such a great vertical and horizontal hitbox that, you know, if someone's in a certain area, oh, that was risky there. There's a dive kick.
A little low poke turning into some pressure, but Wi-Fi Scorpion's in here. We've seen these throw games and how extremely useful they've been. Yeah, pestering. Again, and escape failed. Lined up here for Scorpion. For both sides from this character. Here's a big chance on the roll.
Oh man.
Punish. And he saves it. Interesting. Okay, so he went for the reset right there, holding on to his KB resources.
Final round.
Yeah, I think not only that, but I think he wanted to keep the corner positioning here. Because I'm guessing he didn't want to end the combo in a spear because it was going to switch the sides and throw him out of the corner. But I guess it doesn't matter. These guys have been hopping around in and out of the corner, no problem. Here comes a big spin here. Spin to win, get some good damage. Nice weird little knockdown there at the end. Back 3's been doing so much here for Wi-Fi Scorpion. Oh, empty jump. Very obvious tell here when someone likes to go for the throat. Could have been a punish. That could have been a huge punish. This is coming down to the wire. Say, God, what you gonna do here?
Could be the game again. The break. Oh no, he's been on it too late. And as a result, as he was whipping through on his own fatal blow, Scorpion came in and got his to take it 3-1. At the end of that round, and at the end of I think it was the first game that they played, there were these moments where Wi-Fi Scorpion, if he had chosen a different combo route, could have taken this. Those are 2 games that he gave up, that he's going to be thinking about, that instead Wi-Fi Scorpion moves through.
Oh man. I mean, again, Kung Lao's got a lot of different strings, a lot of different combo routes, like you said. So, you know, depending on when he went for that fatal blow, could have changed it. Maybe he was hesitant on going into the fatal blow because he's like, oh, he's gonna break away, right? Wait, he's not breaking away. So he kind of got, I feel like he got juked a little bit there. Like, I'm not breaking away. Just kidding. I am breaking away. And because of that, I won a lot of recovery there on Kung Lao's fatal blow. You know, it's got great range. It covers a lot of space, but it is a little bit slower, not only on the startup, but also on the recovery. And that was pretty much the demise. But what a nail biter, David. Like down to the wire, man. I mean,
that was a good one right there.
You can't ask for anything more. You cannot ask for anything more than that. I love seeing the games go down to the wire, especially when you see such high-level talent from the Oceania region here. Again, a region, a part of the world that, you know, we want to see more of. We want to see more Australians, more New Zealanders, everything here from this region, just so, you know, we can kind of all connect and love and enjoy playing fighting games, playing Mortal Kombat 11. So, you know, whether someone, you know, is going into this top 8 and they're like, oh, I'm not going to win, I don't care. No. Just take it in a positive manner. Like, it was really, really good experience. You got to play under some pressure. You got some nice stream footage to show somebody. It's really, really fun. And it makes you a part of this. It makes you a part of this whole production. It makes you a part of this whole, you know, tournament series. And I can't wait
really
to see
to be involved with that. Yeah. It's really nice to show off players a little bit better, right? To hear more about each person's stories, to see them play. It's certainly one of the things that I like most about being able to do this. So Wi-Fi Scorpion moves on in the loser side. The next losers round match that we have is Bijiga FGC versus Halak 007. Take a look for you right there. Halak began this in loser's side. He lost only to Sagat 83, a player who is now out of it. Whereas, of course, Bijiga earlier was sent out by Waz. So these players were both sent down to loser's side by Waz. How about that? Again, if you've only lost to him, you know, you could still be a big threat in this tournament.
Yeah, you got to be feeling pretty good. Again, there's no shame in taking a loss to a great player like Waz. He's been putting in, work into the NRS, scene, into the NRS games for a very long time. And, his hard work, his dedication, it pays off. And I love that Waz is very involved, with the other players. And again, big shout outs to Wazinator to make sure that, we got all our notes for, tonight's broadcast to really highlight, his brothers right here, because that's what it is. It's all about community. It's all about, bringing each other up instead of trying to tear each other down. I know we have these little, rivalries with regions versus regions, but in the end of the day, it's all about bringing us all up together. So let's see what kind of variation changes we're going to be seeing here, or I guess not variations anymore, more abilities that are equipped here. I see
characters, in fact, because we previously saw Bijiga with, I believe, Joker, and Halak with Devora, and now we see that it is Lu versus Cetrion. Quite different.
Yeah.
We'll see what we got in these characters here. Okay, so the wins, of course, for Cetrion. A super strong move with the restand, with the safety. I mean, it's an incredibly important move in her moveset. And no whiff punish on the kick. Interesting.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't know where Liu Kang is going to end up here. Now that move, very, very tough thing to punish if you do block the entire thing. Good conversion here from Liu Kang. Goes for the armor break. That little command grab he does there at the end. You don't want to break against that because it's going to lead to a lot of damage. And when you're getting up right next to Liu Kang, it is one of the most frustrating things to deal with. Because of his forward 4-3 string, multiple mids coming at you for a lot of damage and a lot of good pressure here. So it looks like Liu Kang has a low fireball.
Yep.
So he's got low fireball.
Command grab we saw.
Yeah. And the low fireball is very, very tricky. You don't know if he's going to amplify it or not. Oh, smart stuff there to get around the Earthquake, which is another move here that Cetrion has specifically equipped here. Wake up threes to kind of get that invulnerability, to get that turn back on Cetrion's side, super frame advantage. Jumping back and going for the teleport.
That would be the last one here. I've seen this build. Wow. Okay, the third time we see the kick come out. Oh my god, it was a huge risk out of Lu. That was the intention anyway, but Cetrion threw it.
Oh yeah. That was very, very scary. I mean, that could have been really, really bad. Gets the play. Smart stuff so here.
Times where you try the 2-3 string and instead you just come out with 3 because you pressed the 2 too early. That has happened to me a billion times as Cetrion.
I've definitely been on the wrong end of that input error. Nice short hop there to avoid as much chip damage as possible, but here comes the teleport. I mean, Cetrion is so mobile as it is, thanks to that really, really good backdash or great zoning options. But on top of that, you give her a teleport that she can amplify and be even farther away from you. I mean, what character is more mobile than this character right here?
Yeah, the fireball I think in particular for her is really, really strong.
A lot of people said that Cetrion, you thought she was ridiculous before. Now that she can equip whatever she wants, this is insane. This is insane here.
She was pretty good. KB comes through for Bijiga, who has the corner. As you were saying, this is a tough spot to be. Okay, comes up with the risk. Up into the sky. Oh, didn't expect the hell.
Yeah, didn't expect the cancel there. Instead, thought that she was just going to come down and it was going to be his turn to swing since the kick was so high in the arc.
25, and with the kick yet again. What were that, 3-4 times that we saw that come through on the flying kick? And I don't think that he got punished one time. I think there was a neutral duck under it once from Halak. Didn't get a punish. Blocked it a couple of times. Didn't get a punish. Got hit by it a couple of times. So it was actually working out. I mean, it's super fast for sure. And I like the idea of it in a way to sort of counter the Earthquake. So you did see Halak bring an Earthquake cancel, which she could do as well from pretty far away, just as a bait. So they're definitely playing the mix-ups on this. But yeah, the Flying kicks and the fatal blow, if you recall, were a couple of big risks, well, several big risks really that we saw coming out of Vegeta.
Yeah, and it's a very risky move, but it's showing that the matchup familiarity and knowing that specifically that this move will get me out of certain situations, and that could have been something that was learned in the previous season of Mortal Kombat 11, because Cetrion did have that in the other variation, and you can kind of, I feel like Liu Kang players know when they can get out of certain things with that flying kick, because it is a core move. It's a move that you don't have to equip. It's a move that, unless you override with another ability, you're always going to have it.
Roll out into a little bit of pressure, but you know that Vegeta understands how Locke's going to run away. Here we go. Yes, with the punish finally. Will it be a knockdown? Just very classic Cetrion stuff.
Yeah, tries to get really tricky there. Instead of ending the string with the overhead, going for the low cancel instead. Keeping it back, but you know what? Liu Kang's got some options here, and I don't know what that was. I think that was maybe a 1-2.
I think that was interactable. I don't know.
But why from so far? Why from so far? Unless he thought he
screwed up a special move input. Who knows? I don't know. Happens to me sometimes too. This time the punish, right? Yeah, there is a range there. It's quite minus. Many characters can't, but Liu Kang flying kick definitely one of them that can.
But that's also so scary because if you're a little too far away, that flying kick is going to get blocked, and that flying kick is going to get its own full combo punish.
Well, is it? I mean, we've so far seen that hasn't maybe been the case.
Round 2.
It could. It could. It could go into a counter pressure.
No, but Vegeta knew. So now we have 2, I believe, stocked up on that. The command grab comes out. Oh man, he is taking these risks and they're paying off.
Oh, definitely are paying off. Stand 1, 2, 3.
Wait first.
The onslaught, the pressure, the guessing in his head completely. I mean, read your opponent 101. The only time Cetrion went for that up 3, Liu Kang just kind of very smoothly backs away from it, makes it whiff, and goes right for the forward 4-3 crushing blow. I mean, even if she had enough health to withstand that string by itself, that was going to lead into a full combo, especially in the corner. Oh, man. Oh, man, he was in his head. He was 1,000% in his head, rent-free, no problem, day in, day out, like it was nothing. That's a tough one to come back.
He's looking really strong. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a character switch. No, we're not going to see that. Okay. Where's my damage? Can you imagine having a character like this and then complaining about the damage of it? Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, this is a character I've played a lot as well. Definitely very strong at controlling stuff. And one of the nice things for her is that it's not just about zoning and space control. She's got these great buttons up close that have fantastic hitboxes on them that you can really pressure with at ranges that many other characters can't, even characters who are, maybe more pressure heavy up close. She's got these great ranges to her. So, okay, she doesn't do a lot of damage at once. Fine. There's some other stuff going on for her as well. It's 2-0 for Vegeta, FTC over up on Halak.
Oh yeah, score is 2-0, and here we go. I mean, you gotta do it. Halak, you gotta, tap in, get what you gotta do. I mean, that last round, definitely a wash, but you know what? You're a competitor, you can adapt, you can learn. It's this little.
Gotta make sure that you got that meter burn on deck, and there just wasn't any bar right there for Halak. So Vegeta knows, again, that was that same range, it just happened to work out for Halak, so still taking the risks. With the bar and got there first. And it was a lot in this round when he's down so far. Yeah.
I feel like, I think it's one of those crushing blows that you don't typically see too often. You probably see it in this matchup a little bit more when it's coming down to Cetrion throwing boulders, but it's a very rare crushing blow.
There we go, underneath. And this is that range, right? This is a big part of why we see low fireball being used here. So she can't just duck under.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta force her to. Yeah, you gotta force them to move or take the chip damage. And right there, Liu Kang deciding to move. Great timing there with the jump in. And look at the awareness there, just kind of staying away from the rock or the boulder range here, or the rising earth, whatever that move is called.
Oh man, this is cracking me up. I love this.
Oh, what a
Right,
great...
but not enough damage on that.
Yeah, so he thought he was going to go for a throw there, so he decided to press a button, but here comes a big mid for your troubles. Beautiful anti-air there with the down kick.
Yeah, I love that right there. It's match point now for Bijiga FGC up on Halak.
Final round. Fight.
Halak's quote is definitely coming into play. Give Cetrion damage.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Got plenty. Right, yeah.
Oh man, he just whiffing that flying kick and being able to get away with it. It's insane because you're holding on a block. You're like, all right, here comes flying kick. I'm gonna block it, punish, and it whiffs, and you're not ready for it. You try to swing, but it's too late. Oh man, that was actually punished there.
So much. Yeah, it was. Not quite KB. It's not going to even matter at this point because anything's going to do it. Halak needs to stay away, cannot get hit. Well, can't get grabbed either as Bijiga FGC takes it 3-0. I'm interested in a lot of the decisions that we saw from Bijiga, who was comfortable in bringing in flying kick, who was comfortable doing down 2 after the wind from Cetrion. Just decisions that worked out. I mean, clearly, right? I wonder if this is specifically like a set of reads that Bijiga has on this player. Again, these players have played each other before, so I don't know. But I was very interested watching that, right, to try to sort of understand the mindset of the player. Again, the only person who's beaten Bijiga so far is Wasminator.
And it's, again, he's obviously in the winners finals here, ready to play, ready to, and just one game away from securing the grand final spot, 2 games or 2 sets, I should say, away from securing a victory here for tonight's tournament. A lot of the other things I was seeing here from Bijiga's Liu Kang successfully, what I see a lot of players not do, like if they're using a character with an advancing special move, a lot of players don't challenge Cetrion when she just throws up the ground boulder or the rising rock. I don't know what it's called. We got to go on Combat Academy and see, but it's like if you look at the risk reward, like, okay, if she amplifies it, whatever, she spends a bar and I get a little bit of damage. Or if she doesn't, I can, kind of instill that fear. Some advancing moves lead into some really good situations. Some can amplify for some okay damage, more than, a stray rock would do. And, that's what we saw there. We saw matchup specific things against Cetrion. And, that's what you got to see a little bit more. I know she's a very, very tough character to kind of to take on, but if you put in the time, you could definitely see it there. Again, we just want to give a huge shout out to Astro Gaming, who we just want to thank Astro Gaming, the official audio partner for the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition. All the caster audio is powered by Astro for the entirety of the season. So if you guys are very impressed with the quality, because I know I definitely am, you definitely want to check out astrogaming.com to find out more information on all their officially licensed PlayStation audio products, which are available now. Ultra David, do you know what side the slide is on? You got it? Where's the Astro? Where is it?
Right,
gotta think. Oh, you got it! There it is.
Looking so yeah, good. I know exactly where we are.
So yeah, big shout outs to Astro Gaming. Definitely check out all their stuff. I mean, a lot of your favorite streamers use Astro. We're using Astro equipment right now, and I'm loving it. It's very comfortable, and it's incredible. Even with this nice little mix amp, you can just control everything. It's so good. Check it out. So are we going right into winners finals? Yeah, I believe that's the next match for us. Yes.
I believe that's where we're headed. Yes, sir.
So we got the best in Australia versus the best in New Zealand.
Right.
I saw some tweets Yeah, I saw some tweets directed at us earlier today saying that there was no love for New Zealand, but there is a New Zealand player here.
Yeah.
It's very easy to miss because the flags, I guess, are like almost identical. There's like a little, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know the New Zealand flag, but
yep, they are very close. They have some shared history. This is going to be Waz going with, I'm happy to see this. This is pretty cool. So I asked him what characters to expect from him, and he said Frost and Jade. We saw Jade earlier. We're seeing Frost now. Super cool there. I like this character a lot. I think she's super, super interesting in variations. A lot of things that people are putting together are really cool to watch. Microburst is here. That's cool. The Auger's really strong before. I do like this. And from Sub, did you see what Sub has here?
I didn't get to pay attention, but
Okay,
I feel like Sub, yeah, definitely doesn't have cold shoulder equipped because nobody's going to equip cold shoulder because you don't want to give up slide.
Moved out, dude.
Why? Why would you not want slide? Maybe it's Axe and Amplified Ice Ball. That's going to be my guess.
Yeah, pretty common. Yeah, for sure.
All right, breaking away.
We haven't seen anything. Grab out of the corner. Okay, interesting. Get the mix-ups right. Waz staying very safe. There it is. The deep freeze comes into play. So it's deep freeze and ice axe. Looking for the hit confirm, but Waz just takes the
Oh man, Sub-Zero's jump in one with his arm extended all the way down is very, very tough to deal with. I mean, oh man, look at that range. He is so familiar with this matchup, so familiar with the fact that, you know, at that range, it's his turn to swing, and he can even swing with something as slow as forward two, which, you know, acts as a mix-up all in itself. It does hit as an overhead. It is very unsafe, but, you know, at that range, you know, almost nobody's expecting it. Tries to go for a deep freeze there, thinking that Frost may be going for some kind of backdash, but instead Frost confirming some good combos herself. Wazinator looking great here, displaying this incredible execution, staggering with the mid and backing off. Not trying to take too many risks here, waiting for Sub-Zero. Oh man, that was extremely risky.
Risk right there. Yeah, I mean, talking about no risks from Waz, but definitely some risks in overhead and low from Swazi. He's caught in the corner. Has to play D versus these Ice Augers. That said, just like that, it's the big change, and now Waz is in trouble. Sure, big life lead, but just a couple of mix-ups away, it's not gonna happen. But you can never feel comfortable versus Sub when he has you cornered.
No, it's definitely not fun. I mean, he doesn't have Ice Clone in this, but like, it's
right.
Very,
it's for a different reason, right?
Okay.
It's not just because you're not frozen in there. He doesn't put you in jail. He's just gonna mix you up.
Exactly. Big jump in here from Wazinator. It's not really, he's not committing to that full string because he knows that, you know, Swazi is very squirmy and he doesn't want to commit into something and be, you know, recovering. So you're seeing a lot of staggers here with the mid, and Waz is just kind of waiting and looking for the perfect opportunity. And there it is, a good hit confirmed and some good damage. Takes her all the way to the corner and just smells out that up three on the wake up. Wazinator looking incredible here. All chip. It was going to be a down one, most likely into the spinner.
Yeah, so much chip on that. That's legit. But didn't even need it. So Frost here for Waz takes it, and I really like watching how his Frost plays because it's not just about pressure nor just about defense. There's this interesting mid-range that he hides out a lot, where he puts out the shield as well, right? Typically you'll see people back off to a range where they know that the opponent can't punish when they put out shield, but he put out shield at mid-range a bunch. Now, obviously he's looking for something like Ice Ball, right? But I like that he's confident at that range, that he backs off to that range. She does have really fast ways to get back in and stab in, right? The super fast high on the 2, down forward's got great range for her. She has the Ice Augers as well. So in fact, we're just going to see a straight up switch from Swazi from the Sub over to the Johnny, which is what we saw before, and it definitely looked really good.
Yeah, I don't know if he picked Sub specifically for Frost. I mean, he was looking okay in that first round before Waz made the necessary adjustments, but looks like here we're going to be utilizing Rising Star, Pissed Off, which is, you know, as you said before, rather more of a favorite, and Throwing Shades. Throwing Shades is going to be his access to a lot of damage once he's into that Fatal Blow territory. where he can go into the fatal blow dash campaigns. For a
It's
nice
the same variation that we saw from him before, and he looked really good on it.
yeah, no, he definitely did.
Space control coming from Waz here. Oh, what a jump timing right there by Swazi. Will Waz break? Finally does.
Yeah, jumping against a character like Frost is very, very dangerous. She's got one of the most consistent anti-airs with her down 3. Very tough to deal with. So, you know, that was a very well thought out and well calculated jumping. He's not just jumping in like a crazy person.
Okay, chance to chase. Yep, Johnny's in there. Well,
tries to go for a down 2. Not sure if he thought that, you know, he was going to go for a breakaway, but actually decided to hold on to the bar, maybe looking to utilize some rising star pressure to get that last little bit of damage here in this last 30%. But you cannot move when Frost has Fatal Blow. That thing reaches from full screen so fast. So you got to think twice about committing to a button, a projectile, and that could be death easily.
keep it up. Not quite. Still pressure though here for Swazi. Yes, who does get it.
Yeah, because of that last patch and the universal change to down ones, a lot of down one conversions have gotten a lot tougher. And I feel like I still see players, you know, adjusting to that change, especially in the corner there, because it's not something that you really practice. It's kind of something that develops over time from playing so many different games, and now we have to kind of relearn it again. Down four.
A slight bit of feature here. Yeah, came in for the grab. Oh, out of the corner. Okay.
Yeah, he went for the throw base. You know, it's tough when you give your opponent way too much credit. You're like, oh no, he's gonna know I'm throwing him into the corner. Let me throw him out, and it's like he didn't even see that coming.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, down two. That could have been a huge whip punish here from Waz, but Waz wasn't ready for it. Maybe he thought he wasn't there in time. Again, super well calculated jump in here from Swazi.
Wow, what a whip punish right there by Waz, who did not get the rest. But he just keeps putting up this wow, there's the anti-air that you were just discussing. That down three is legit. Can he get a whip punish in here for the round? I think so. Right there is Swazi.
Definitely.
You can feel comfortable at that range, you know, versus Johnny. He just has such great ways to dance his way in from a good 1/3 to half screen so quickly.
Now, why aren't we seeing? Wasn't Swazi on stream teabagging before? Are we seeing a little different mindset in this player right now? I mean, a little bit less at ease and more like, oh man, this is it. This is the nitty gritty.
Right.
I mean, obviously we know who Wazinator is. You know, I gotta stay sharp. No joking around, no messing around. That Johnny Cage is looking great. A lot of great forward advancing moves. And, you know, a lot of times Frost isn't counting on things like that. And right there at the end, Waz thought, I don't think Waz knew he was taking a big risk in that scenario, but Johnny Cage was able to punish, getting right under that auger and, you know, being able to just hit confirm right into a fatal blow. No problem. Enough damage. And those are the fatal blows that hurt me the most when I'm like above 30% and my opponent is below 30%, and I get comboed and they hit confirmative fatal blow and I lost. Why did I lose?
Yeah.
Because I had more health. That one hurts. Those hurt a lot. And I feel like in some scenarios you see people like purposely take the hit just to get the fatal blow. Rising Star. Ooh, Waz wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, and for Waz, it's not easy to play at this range. I mean, it feels like that's a range where typically I like how Frost does. I was saying that before. But Johnny's ability to get in there right after this down four, right? Those are long buttons. The down four, the back two, that sort of stuff. Those are lengthy ones, right? They're not going to come out quickly, and they have quite some whip recovery as well.
Yeah. If you're on point, you can definitely whip punish those if you're on point. I mean, they're not the slowest things in the world, but yeah, just like every other button in this game, it's got some recovery frames. Okay, Waz digging deep here for a back throw to kind of just keep everybody in the neutral here, right in the middle. Oh, that could have been a huge whip punish. That could have been huge.
Swazi's still on the chase. And his own fireballs have actually been so important. Now,
Yeah, he really knows how to throw.
Look at the time now, 7 seconds.
Oh yeah, no time left at all.
That's gonna do it. Look at that. Swazi, all he needs to do is just back off. Yeah, nothing at all.
It's good to be
Yeah, the throw animation
really
would
like
have
that
been
by Swazi.
way too long.
Yeah, it wouldn't
No,
have even mattered. Exactly.
Fight.
Just block. Don't even go for the throw tech. And that's all about managing, all these different aspects. Managing your opponent's meter, the time, the life lead. It looks like Swazi was looking for some kind of neutral duck there, and that mid from Frost was able to connect. Speaking of mids, good hit confirm here from Blazinator, keeping him grounded as long as possible, and he is opting not to go for breakaway. Interesting choice here, and I think Waz needs to kind of take note of that. Take note of the fact that, this is somebody who's willing to die with his meter because he wants it for Rising Star. Just in case it does get blocked, he wants to be able to amplify it to keep it nice and safe. The back throw to just kind of shut off all movement here from Frost, putting her up against the ropes here. Down one into the Rising Star again. Such a great tool to kind of just like poke and poke and poke. But this time Swazi forced to come off that breakaway, and he's going to be recovering for a long time before he gets those bars back.
That last hit did connect, just didn't expect. The cancel in, and now Swazi is very dangerous. So is Waz. As his own fatal blow is in play. Comes in for the grab. Escape failed, which could come up if he takes this round. Just try to put up some walls. 12 seconds left. 11 seconds left. Can Johnny get in there in time? The hit. It's not enough.
Oh my god, he flawless blocked
5. I love the choice. Is it enough in time? No, it's not.
Oh, it was so close. It was so close. Not only that, but also Swazi, he flawless blocked that jump in from Frost, and he tried to up 2, but the game made like the sound, so he actually didn't have the bar just quite yet, but just out of, oh man, if he had the bar, if it happened like a half a second later, it would have been enough, and that could have easily gotten him that round, gotten him that game. Down to the wire here.
Kind of pressure, kind of caging a little bit. Okay, backing off slightly. Remember, he does have the crushing blow throw. Not there. And Waz has tried with the whip punish there several times. Swazi's in.
Oh, tries to hit that knee. This is looking like curtains for Swazi. It's not going to kill him, but it's going to be very, very close. He does have the ability to come back with that Johnny Cage throwing shade, but unfortunately, yeah, not an easy character.
Remind you? Yeah, exactly. Can I remind you that when I asked Wasminator for a quote that we should say on the air from him, what he said was, "Please let me anti-air." This guy plays Frost and Jade, and he's talking about anti-airs. Look at this. Down 3 to the rescue, as we've seen a few times throughout the set. It is one of the best anti-airs in the game.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's one of the better ones. Some people argue and say that Terminator's is a little bit better, but I feel like it's a little easier to see it, successfully from Frost, especially if she like anti-airs you and you're in the corner.
That's like the same category, right? Like there are these couple of down 3s that do that, but there aren't that many of them, and Frost is one of the characters that has that kind of option.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, shout outs to Waz for complaining about anti-airs and then winning with an anti-air.
It's so good. I mean, she doesn't get all the damage in the world, which I get. I can see some of the frustration out of there, but a lot of people don't. All spot up 2s require one resource of defensive and offensive, so you really can't get much damage off of those either.
Swazi on
nice
the
little
chase.
poke here.
Often seen here, and he got there in time.
Yeah, that was a bold.
Into the corner. Nice. It's going to be Swazi pressuring here. Waz has been jumpy, and there it is. He's jumped. He waited for just a quick second, to his credit, but then he jumped out as soon as he could.
His credit. Alright, it's gonna lead to a lot of damage. Nut punching, amplifying it for a big juggle. Now in the corner, going into the pissed off, thinking that he was possibly gonna go for the armor breaker there at the end. But I don't think it mattered, and I don't think Waz wanted to take that risk. I think he kind of wanted to just chalk up this round as a loss and focus on the next one, the next task at hand, if you will.
That is really good for Johnny, though, that he has that threat of the armor breaker in those situations, though.
Yeah.
And even if they don't break, you get a lot of damage, right? Some armor breakers
you
don't do
definitely. No, you definitely get some good damage here. Oh, goes for the throw escape. Maybe a little too predictable with the forward throw here. Waz totally on point, totally, in control, but right now losing a lot of life and not a lot of opportunities for him to make this comeback. He can start with Fatal Blow, but right now I'm going to start it off with a regular back throw, deciding to
started it off by dashing forward after being grabbed. He began the pressure immediately because he knows he needs stuff here. Running out of time, though. Okay, air to air. Will there be a break? No, not yet. And Chip comes to the rescue right there for Swazi. So ties it up 2-2. This is a very close set.
I wonder if it's even, again, it's Swazi is playing completely different here. I mean, we saw a different character attempt before with Sub-Zero. He had one good round, but I think Johnny Cage is the character for him. I mean, I'm seeing it in his anti-air conversions. I'm seeing it in all the challenges with, down 4, whether that's a down 4 before the startup or down 4 post startup, or I'm sorry, during recovery frames. This is the character. He just seems so comfortable. Like he knows when to press his buttons, when he's in range, when he's out of range. And this is what I love seeing. I love seeing it. A lot of people are saying they're looking at this top 8 bracket and they're like, oh, whatever, it's just Wazinator. He's just going to win because he always wins because he's the best in the Oceania region. But it's close, man. It is very, very close. And every day, if you're willing to put in the work, and especially after this, this pandemic, a lot of people were confined to their own homes. And what are you going to do when you got, Mortal Kombat 11 with one of the best net codes out there in the fighting game community? You're going to play. Whether you're going to play on Combat League to, sweat against Wi-Fi Scorpions, or whether you're going to play, some casuals with the real Wi-Fi Scorpion, it's totally up to you. But there's definitely multiple ways of getting really good at this game. And right now I'm seeing a shift here in the tide. Swazi is looking incredible.
By the way, shout out to the New Zealand scene, who is actually going back to having locals now. I mean, have fun out there, everybody. I am very happy for you. So it seemed like Waz was thinking about switching up variation or character, and ended up not. It's going back to the same variation here in this winner's finals to see who gets into grands on the winner's side. A lot of points on the line here. Yep, just putting up that wall at the down 4 range. Waz has been comfortable there.
He has been comfortable, a little too comfortable. So right there in that scenario, Swazi knew the forward throw was the way to go. Rolling out, and does he get thrown back into the corner? Yes, little neck break, little corpse throw.
Waz is very focused on jumping out. Yes, up 3 that time, and he got out there. Okay, was harassing a little bit. Directly back in Swazi. Oh. So close. Chip, yes. And it's match point Swazi here to get in the grand finals versus Waz.
Being in that grand finals on the winner's side is definitely a lot more comfortable. I mean, you're a little bit more reserved. You got a little breathing room, a little room for error. Tries to go for that down 3 anti-air, but I think if he stuck out a button, it would have gotten punished or would have gotten anti-aired, but because he didn't, showed a little bit of reservation. Just kind of was able to keep control here. A lot of pokes in the favor of Swazi. Swazi's looking great. Wazinator, you got to dive in deep. You got to dig deep if you want to try to make this comeback. Here it starts.
That may be the start as he gets the fail on escape. He does need to pressure a little bit more. It can't just be about this mid-range wall that Swazi has been able to get through. Got to see something more from Waz here. Whip punish, and he does, but not for anything. Unfortunately, the augers are too far.
possibly going for a throw mix here. Yeah, he didn't want it to be too obvious.
And, you know, Swazi has been very patient, in fact. Like, when it has been Waz's turn... Oh, big chance. Big chance here for Waz. Not going to be enough to kill. He needs a reset. That's what he went for. Maybe trying for the grab, throw, mix. Look at the time now. 14 on the clock as Swazi has the life lead and plus frames. 8 seconds on the clock. Waz is in huge trouble. I don't think he's going to get it at this point. Swazi just backdashes, and why not? The Hail Mary fatal blow doesn't matter. Swazi takes it, sending Waznator to the losers. As you said, Waz was the person everybody was looking at as the biggest favorite here. And certainly he's had so much success nationally and internationally, but Swazi looks super strong, enough to get into grand finals on winner's side.
Very, very strong there. I mean, you just gotta, and also think about this set. Think about the fact that Swazi, I don't want to say gave up a game, but he did go into this set trying Sub-Zero. Wasn't successful at all, and he was able to win. You know, after Sub-Zero, he was able to win this set 3-1. Is that something that he's going to be taking into consideration going into the grand finals, knowing that it's most likely going to be Waznator coming back? You know, if you were a betting man saying that, not trying to discourage anyone that has to unfortunately play Waznator in the losers finals, but that's something to consider because it's not over. It's not done. Swazi knows that, you know, if it's not Waznator coming back into grand finals, it's going to be somebody who is strong enough to beat Waznator. So it's something you got to consider in the long game. Like, don't go for the Sub-Zero pick. But the other thing too is that Waz knows that, and he knows that, you know, maybe maybe Jade is the answer. I don't know, but that was really, really impressive play here from Swazi, and I love seeing the underdog come out in that situation. You know,
Definitely,
just to kind of,
and you know what Wallace had to say about Swazi before when I asked him just a little bit of a spiel on each player here was that Swazi is very new. He's new to the scene. He's been playing MK11 for a while, but new to the scene compared to most of the players here, and already has a variety of characters. We've already seen a couple of them. Is always a threat to go up against, right? That was what Waz had to say in advance, and
yeah,
absolutely right on all counts so far. Swazi's looking really good.
Yeah, you got to wonder where somebody's competitive edge came from. But again, huge shout outs to the merchandise that you guys can check out here on the Amazon store, amazon.com/Mortal Kombat. You guys can rep your realm here. We have merch for for all these different regions. You can get some Scorpion merch, Melina merch, or Sub-Zero. So again, if you want to represent what you love, the community that you've been a part of for so long, or just starting today, or maybe you've been a long-time Mortal Kombat fan, there is some merch in the store for you. So check it out and show your love. Show your love. It definitely helps with everything that you see here. We're talking about the production. We're talking about funding tournaments, everything. So show some love to the boys over at Mortal Kombat /NRS, and rock it out. Rock it loud.
Well, we are going down to the losers side, where up next we are going to have Wi-Fi Scorpion versus Bejiga. This is to see who gets into losers finals, where we know that Waz is hanging out.
Yeah.
So what do we got here on deck? We've seen Wi-Fi Scorpion running the same variation of Scorp each time. Bejiga has had a couple of characters we've seen. What's the choice versus Scorpion in this instance here?
I don't know. It looks like right now
from Melbourne, I believe is the proper pronunciation.
They'll let us know. They'll let us know.
It's not. I know.
It looks like right now he's
good old Melbourne. You know it. In Victoria.
You know it.
Down south there. All right, what do we got from Bejiga?
Bejiga, no, he's the one that's locked into Liu Kang. It looks like Wi-Fi Scorpion was thinking maybe not Scorpion. He is switching over to Fujin, which we were told he is familiar with. So this isn't a character that he's picking out of nowhere, despite his name is Wi-Fi Scorpion and not Wi-Fi Fujin. let's see what he has. What does he have equipped there? I'm trying to see it in full
Yeah,
screen.
I
It's a
see
little
Arsenal, Warped Beetle, Skywalker. Okay, so some pretty conventional stuff. There's some weird things that Fujin has. Some very, very cool, unique moves that you can bring in if you'd like to. Very funky setups that he has, but this is one that is a little bit more conventional and certainly is strong. Strong character right here.
Yeah, a little bit more to the point. Airwalker has incredible mobility, combo potential. So you can just you can amplify it and pop your opponent up for a combo from certain strings, certain scenarios. But again, Fujin is a very, in my opinion, is a very high execution character. A little tough to get used to all his B&Ds. Beautiful reversal punish here. He's definitely going to think twice about completing that string.
Wow! Shoutouts to Warp Needle Amp right there coming to the rescue. As Vegeta escapes the corner, can he flawless? He does! And just like that, the reversal of fortune here. Wi-Fi Scorpion does have 2 bars, but he's stuck in the corner. I did not want to let any of that go in.
No, he wanted a challenge right away because he knew what that challenge meant for him. That challenge meant round secured. But right now he's getting kind of red here in the corner over and over again. Liu Kang successfully. Oh, never mind. As soon as I said that, I jinxed him, but he dropped the combo. It doesn't matter. American reset. He's gonna keep it going as he just wakes up into no block at all. Big punish here from Liu Kang after that forward roll, getting right through it in invincible fashion.
Oh man, these big what a giant read! What did he just do? A meaty down 2? It did not work out, and Wi-Fi Scorpion with the big damage punish.
Oh, that was scary because by itself it's definitely unsafe.
Wi-Fi Scorpion took both of those rounds, and I gotta tell you, in that second round right there, Vegeta had the Oki, he had the knockdown. And my memory of it is that he went up there and did a meaty, or maybe it was like slightly after meaty, down 2, and it whiffed for anything. And wow, very interesting choice.
I think he was so sure that he was going to press wake up buttons, so he was trying to down 2 cash in.
I mean, it's
because he had the corner. Yeah, no, huge read. But if your opponent's in the corner, like gigantic read. The biggest of all reads. But if your opponent's in the corner, that's going to be a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Every character has different optimals. If that down 2 is in the corner with your opponent in the corner, rather than just in mid screen, where they fall from gravity or they fall out of the combo a lot easier, a lot quicker. Looks like Vegeta is highlighting Joker, which we did see a little bit of earlier in today's broadcast. And
it was
let's
the character
see
that we saw when Vegeta was in versus Waz. Didn't end up broken out, but we still both liked a lot of what we saw. And it's still Kapow with Batsy Pew Pew. I think is that the low one?
Yeah, that should be the low one. I don't think it replaces anything. Yeah, the low shooty gun. Kapow replaces the Bird Boy beatdown, which eliminates a lot of the mix-up for Joker. It's very unsafe mix-up, but look at this damage here. It does drop the end of that combo, though. How unfortunate. Now, I'm interested in seeing why he would choose the low-fat gun for a character like Fujin, who is so mobile, and I feel like he can just airwalk and get right in, possibly even dive
You can't
touch it low.
Right? He can't slide underneath that. I would imagine he can't slide underneath that.
No, I don't think so. He can slide under a lot of things, but I don't think that is one of them. That's the second time he's dropped that combo, but the second part of that string connects anyway because his opponent is not, because Vegeta is not expecting him to drop the combo. People make mistakes, especially online. Like, mistakes happen, no problem. Don't give your opponent too much credit.
We saw the flawless on the very first one of those. Haven't seen it again, but here's Vegeta with good damage. As always comes out of Kapow. And yeah, when does he set up the Batsy Pew Pew? We've seen it only one time so far.
Yeah, it's not really doing much for him here. That's a great hit confirm there. Big jumping kick into the forward 2. He's waiting for it. He was 100% just waiting for it. He's like, come on, where's dive kick?
Yeah.
What? Why was he on that side? I don't even think he knew he was on that side.
Didn't quite have the offensive bar. It was so close, but it's okay. Comes back swinging in. Vegeta takes it.
I mean, what move can Fujin do to try to punish the boxing glove?
I'm not sure if he has one. Yeah.
Yeah, I maybe needle, but I don't think it's fast enough. So I think boxing glove's going to help a lot in this matchup.
There we go. Whatever he wants, as Wi-Fi Scorpion does not have the defensive bar. Yeah, there's the damage. And wakes up with the jump. Ooh, buddy. You gotta punish, in fact, yes. Offensive bars are available. Nice read. Vegeta's in big trouble. Even chip may be a problem. Well, there you go.
He had no bar. No bar whatsoever, and you need a full defensive bar to be able to not get chipped out for one hit, but that wasn't the case. He knew that the only thing he could have possibly done was delay wake up, so he was just on point when it came to the Oki game. He knew what strings to press, and it worked out for him. A great pick here for Vegeta. I don't see the Batsy Pew Pew doing too much in this, but I do see just Joker in general, like his buttons are doing a good job of handling anything Fujin's throwing at him, and overall just patience. I think Wi-Fi Scorpion's more than likely going to go back to Scorpion. Yeah, so it looks like he's using
Burning Spectre as well.
Burning Spectre. Now the difference with that one. Okay, no, this is the one that he's been using. Yeah, he's been using Burning Spear. He might have just not renamed it and just changed it to that.
Burning Spear. Okay, there you go.
He mixed you up. He wasn't even playing.
Yeah, I saw the whole part of the name except the last two letters. Yeah.
All right, boxing glove pushes Scorpion to the corner, but we all know how easily Scorpion can get out of that corner. Nice little teleport, can do it. Beautiful whiff punish before the end of that back two string comes out.
Here's the pressure that we need to see from Wi-Fi Scorpion. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, some of the Joker's normal tools are not going to be very successful here.
Ooh, down to crushing blow, a lot of damage. Able to get something going even with that hit of armor.
Dash throw first before the grab, and now how to seal it. You can't feel comfortable about putting out a Jack in the Box or about putting out the Batsy Pew Pew. Back two, and there's Wi-Fi Scorpion with the confirmed directly into Fatal Blow.
He is so good at using Fatal Blow. I feel like 90% of the Fatal Blows we've seen in today's broadcast have all been from Wi-Fi Scorpion. And I don't know if that just speaks volumes as to what he is as a player, or just how good Scorpion's normals are for hit confirming, but I love seeing it here. Utilizing everything he possibly can. Good block confirmed there, but he ducks under the throw, and it's going to be huge damage here. Beautiful side switch from Vegeta.
I still got a lot of damage on that as well. And Wi-Fi Scorpion's in trouble in this round. Can he punish? I guess not.
Yeah, I don't think teleport is fast enough. I mean, it might be, but you know what? Scorpion does have equipable moves that might be fast enough. That Demon Dash might be able to punish that, but we'll discover that for another day. Beautiful spear here from Scorpion, trying to get some kind of shimmy here, trying to get him to bite, possibly try to react with the back one, but unfortunately goes for the throw, makes the forward throw to keep him away from the corner. Just a little more insurance on that decision. Not necessary, but you can't take too many precautions.
Wow, down two after getting hit. Okay, going for the big reads. And again!
He did it again!
He did.
What a maniac! He said, hey, it worked the first time, why not?
He just barely escaped the back three. That was such great positioning.
Yeah, Wi-Fi Scorpion loves back three. He loves back three so much. Nice little short hop. Little added mix-up flavor. Good block of the low, knowing that the Bird Boy beatdown is not equipped. Oh, not close enough there to get the punish. I wonder if he can teleport. I feel like he might be able to just raw teleport, but that, again, in itself is so dangerous.
The idea of the whiff punish there was strong. He just wasn't quite at the right positioning for it. And now in dashing in for the grab. Wow, what a correct choice. Vegeta goes up 2 games to 1 here versus by Scorpion. Yeah, not being able to punish the Kapow does seem like a pretty big bump.
Yeah.
Not everybody
definitely
can. Not everybody can.
No, they're definitely not. If you're not as mobile, or your mobile move isn't as fast, it's not going to be, something that you can shut off. So, it turns into, in certain matchups for Joker, it turns into like a why not move. Like, do it, cool. If they got hit, combo for me. If they didn't get hit and they blocked it, no big deal. I have to block maybe for a second, or maybe I can backdash and I don't have to block at all because they're so far away from me. And maybe that's where his low bat gunshot comes into play in terms of, complementary abilities where, you can back off, build a little space, and then throw out and tack on that chip damage. But I don't think it's. I think he just happens to be locked onto that ability. I don't think it's going to help him in a matchup where Scorpion can teleport. Like, he can see him drop the doll, he can see the guns being shot out,
right, yeah.
And then he can kind of just teleport and get a full combo. So you're not going to see Batsy Pew Pew very much at all. But if he does somehow lose this match, I'm pretty sure he's going to be going for at least a variation change.
Well, Watts felt that he was one of the best players in Australia even before this. It's what the word that he gave us was, and we're definitely seeing that now. Okay, I really like the timing to wake up with stand 1-1 right there. What a awareness. And again, back into the corner. As you said, that's something he really likes, going in for that overhead.
Loves it. Loves going for that overhead.
It's pretty good.
I'm going to see overhead, get blocked, micro duck. Oh, what a conversion here.
And he gets, wow, okay, huge read as well. These guys are both swinging big time when it comes to dealing with the opponent's wake up, or with the opponent's throw, I should say. They've both really gone for that.
Yeah, but
he's definitely just buffering in because he doesn't think he can be punished. Right? He's just doing forward one into it.
Just do it. There's no reason not to do it. If your opponent isn't punishing it, I mean, whether it's possible to get punished or not, that's yet to be determined. But if they're not doing it, just why not? What are you going to do about it? Nice jack in the box. Trying to swing right after some advantageous frames. Oh my god, that was it, but he didn't commit to the micro duck. If he committed to the micro duck, it could have been a combo. Oh,
could have been a big difference for sure. But Giga has a life lead now. Scorpion trying to get in there. Oh, I love the button right there from Vegeta. And stealing some frames, pushing his opponent into the corner. Big whip punish opportunity. Yes. And into fatal. And as much damage proration as there's going to be, it not going to matter. This is going to be 2 games to 2. So now the question is Vegeta the matchup that he wants? Because we saw him go to Joker to deal with Fujin. Now, he's got his choice. Does he stick with Joker or does he go somewhere else?
Yeah. Like I said, I don't see him sticking with this exact variation either. Scorpion's just too mobile. Can you get away with the boxing glove? It seems so. Right now, it seems like the boxing glove is, at the very least, a very tough punish for Scorpion. So boxing glove might stay if he decides to go this route. Or he can go back to the character that he initially started with, that he was more than likely anticipating against by Scorpion.
What do we got? Lou?
Yeah, he was locked into Liu Kang. This was, I remember the character select screen now. It was Wi-Fi Scorpion. Wasn't sure if he wanted to go Scorpion or somebody else, while Vegeta was 100% committed, like, I'm going Liu Kang is the character I picked, but it just didn't do well against the Fujin. So, what do we have here? The nunchuck stance, which is what gives him the throw, overhead, or low options. Right afterwards, the low fireball, which I think it's almost essential. The fact that it only takes up one slot is so good for. Yeah, it is so good for Liu Kang's tool set. It really complements his forward 4-3 really well.
And the command grab, I think, is really, really good for him, too. Most of the loot that I'm seeing have both the low and the command grab.
Yeah. Definitely some bang for your buck. All right, gets the bicycle kicks going here in the corner, trying to fulfill that crushing blow requirement. A lot of stand fours here coming out of Wi-Fi Scorpion, optimizing.
In that, well, no hit confirming, and then busts through with the fatal blow. Now he's going to need to do a little bit more to take the round.
Say a lot more. I mean, that's two throws.
Yep, immediate teleport right there as soon as Wi-Fi Scorpion got up, and he's at match point. Again, the only person he's lost to so far is Waz. So he could play again if he wins this next round. Here it is.
Punish. What a punish. What a side switch, but not expecting the up 3 was Bajiga, but is able to kind of successfully hit that nunchuck stance over and over again here, this time with the command grab. Gonna hit him with lots of mids here. Now Liu Kang is one of the best with those mids, but watch out because he will commit to some highs for some plus frames, and that's where that down 2 comes in for the crushing blow. A lot of damage here, and just like that, Wi-Fi Scorpion is back into this round. You could win the whole set right here. He doesn't have to wait for the next round. He doesn't have to give this up. He gave up the down 2 crushing blow, but I think it's worth it.
Huge risk. That was a tournament life right there. Huge risk to take. And Bajiga does in fact do it. Okay, it's match point for both. Who will play against Wasminator in losers finals?
Let's see. Spacing here from Scorpion. Forward 3's got to be one of the best.
Mix of stagger. Even stronger. Okay, throw tips.
Oh, it hurts. Yes. It hurts. He doesn't have breakaway. He doesn't have breakaway, and it hurts. Back into the corner, 32%. Wi-Fi Scorpion in a great position, literally working on a flawless, but right now that is over. Getting caught there by the back throw, 13% down. Only a little bit more to go here. What a conversion from the low fireballs, but Wi-Fi Scorpion poking out of a bad situation, waking up immediately with that down 1. But Bajiga in full control. Here comes the mids.
He's got huge damage potential here. Oh, he didn't. My bad. It's gonna be one more. The grab is dead. Wi-Fi Scorpion lives, but not the second time. Bajiga waltzes right back in for the grab to seal it. And he wants his opponent to know all about it. Bajiga has qualified for losers play against Squad.
Oh man, what a back and he was literally he was on the verge of a flawless until he got thrown into the corner, and it just went all downhill from there for Wi-Fi Scorpion. I mean, it's sometimes you just cannot let up. I mean, he had the crushing blow loaded, back throws for great Oki, great corner positioning, and I think he just got like a little too comfortable. I think he just got like, oh, come on. I was about to flawless this guy. Like, I got this, no problem. And it was just wrong decision after wrong decision, or right decision after right decision, depending on whose eyes you're looking at it from. But, oh, man, that... I thought he had it. I thought it was done. I thought it was over. I'm like, this is a flawless, like this guy is done. He's checked out. And you really got to give it up to someone for a competitor to have that mental fortitude to say like, no, I don't care that I'm down, 90%. Like, I will make this comeback. And he did it. I mean, granted, Liu Kang had some of the best comeback potentials with those crushing blows, but it's still, you got to work for that. You got to work for those.
Of course, he had to make a bunch of right decisions to do it, and he did, so congrats to him for moving forward. Again, both of those players have only lost versus Waz before this match, so it was going to be a run back either way. Now we know it's going to be Waz versus Bajiga, which is the match that we saw right at the beginning of this top 8. We could check out the bracket here. We'll show you who has made top 3. Losers finals will be Waz versus Bajiga.
2 Australians, 1 from Sydney, that's Waz, 1 from Melbourne, that's Bijiga. And then Swazi hanging out in Auckland, waiting to see which of these 2 Aussies he's got to play.
Yeah.
Feeling comfy
And,
up there?
with
Well,
that-
that's what we're going to have next, everybody. Stay around.
That's right.
We will have the top 3 coming up very shortly.
No jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.
PlayStation. Looking for attention, I don't need the extra tension, cause I'm in the 4th dimension, trapeze high in suspension. Now don't bother with the haters, cause they all be imitators. We're real life manipulators, get it back up and see you later. I like me for me, I'ma be what I'ma be. I like me for me, I am who I wanna be. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. I like me for me, I'ma be what I'ma be. Prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself. I like me for me.
Hey guys, Ketchup and Mustard here, and it's time to test your might in the Mortal Kombat 11 Open Series. Ready to rumble? Power on your PlayStation and head to the Events app, filter by type, and select a convenient date and time. Boot up MK11 and locate the PS4 Tournaments menu option. Click it to visit a familiar place, the Console Events tab. Sign up and prepare to play. Once registered, you can view your tournament details and check-in time. A notification will remind you to tighten your black belt and get over here for your match. Continue combat in the open qualifiers to close in on the competition. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the tournaments.
PlayStation. Who are you?
I'm your worst nightmare.
Any ring I step into is mine. End of the line.
Then this fight is now personal.
It is exhausting being so perfect.
Hello, hello. Welcome back. This is the top 3 of Intercontinental Combat here in Oceania, where you see the best Australian and New Zealand players. My name is Darth Arm. I'm joined by Ultra David yet again over on this side. Ooh, I got it right. It is tough. That is tough.
Nailed it.
Think about it. So we got the top 3, and if you guys are just joining us, it is a little different than most people were expecting. Obviously, Wazinator being the great player that he is, everyone's just kind of, oh, it's Wazinator all the way. But unfortunately for Wazinator, he actually got defeated by Swazi in the winners finals, and Swazi is sitting pretty here on the grand finals and has to play the winner of the losers finals between Bajiga and Waz. Bajiga we saw make incredible run here through the loser side, starting in losers round 2, but still able to just kind of keep the composure, know that, the first loss was to Waz. It was definitely a tough loss, and I think Bajiga has kind of found, or could have possibly found, the confidence within those victories to run it back here with Waz. The first time it was 3-0, but it definitely wasn't super decisive in any of those 3-0s. There were very close matches. So I think Bajiga has learned a few things here and there, and I think he can do this. I think he can, possibly make this comeback against Waz. But either way, it's going to be Australia versus New Zealand here in the grand finals, as we do have the lone New Zealander, or the Kiwi, here in the grand finals, representing and taking a minimum of second place. Let's see if he can solidify and get that victory. But first, we got to figure out who his opponent in the grand finals is going to be between Bajiga and Wazinator. Ultra David, we're going to see some more Frost, or do you think Waz is going to go?
Question. Yeah, I would expect him to go back to Jade. That's what he played when they played at the beginning of this top 8, and he looked really good in doing it. He, if you recall, just waited to see whether there was going to be a Jack-in-the-Box before he went to the purple stuff, but he might not be doing that at all. Right now, he has actually already clicked on Kitana. What are we doing here, folks?
I don't know what we're doing here.
We'll see. Just a reminder for everybody of what is on the line here. This is the first week of the many tournaments that we're going to have in each of the regions for Oceania, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, etc., right? And each week there are points on the line. Whoever gets the most points will be in the finals at the end. First place gets 350, second place gets 260, and third gets 230. So there's a pretty big jump between second and first, but actually not that huge of a jump between second and third right here. So it is in fact going to be Kitana for Waz. Not one of the characters that he mentioned to me he was thinking about playing, but here it is versus Joker. He's going to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's picking a character...
He looked good as Jade.
Yeah, he definitely did. It looks like right now we have equipped the Psy and the Low Fan. The Low Fan's going to do a great job of being able to apply that extra layer of mix-up. Strings that normally ended overheads can go into the lows. And the Psy Toss is just kind of a very annoying move to deal with full rangers there. But great jump in from Bajiga, knowing that if you do hit Kitana before this Psy becomes active, it actually nullifies the Psy completely. What a conversion here, going a little bit further forward because of that Amplify here. Waz trying to get a little tricky there, thinking that maybe he was going to press, maybe he was going to try to advance at the wrong time, so he decided to hold the side toss and go for a regular mid, but unfortunately Bajiga was just kind of ready. He said, I have a huge life lead, I have no reason to take a risk, no reason to get antsy. Here comes Jack-in-the-Box pressure. Wazinator fighting back with some amplified for
Bajiga for a little bit. He was looking really good in control, but Waz now just like that, and the roll actually into the corner. Wow! Nothing though for Waz. Could have been big. Out of the air, and Waz backs off a little bit. The style that Waz tends to have of more mid-range control-y type playstyle, but he's in here. Hoping to see a break.
Like he was looking for the breaker there, hoping to cash in big. But right now finds himself in a bad spot. He does have the interactable to jump off of if he so chooses to, but it might be a little too obvious of a decision. Oh,
had to get out there ASAP in that combo.
It was going to be a lot of damage. But yeah, again, we have this kind of caging. Did you see the movement that Joker has available that Vegeta used? There's so much damage here as well. No breakaway available.
Oh, trying to get as much damage as possible there. Oh my god, I don't know how that didn't get trip guard. It went right under Joker's cane. Had that been a mid, that could have been a completely different story here. Only 20 seconds left on the clock, so Waz out of options almost entirely here. And Vegeta feeling a little bit stronger here, looking a little bit more confident as he utilizes his Joker against Waz's Katana. But I think Waz might be in for a character change. Whether he goes to the Jade or the Frost pick, entirely up to him. But you can't sleep on someone who just got through losers. Sometimes getting knocked into losers is the kick in the rear that you need to kind of step up your game, to wake yourself up and be like, look, I can do this. I'm beating these other players that are in losers bracket. I lost to a tough player in the winner's side. I will be ready next time. And that's what Vegeta's showing us right here. Because, obviously Waz does play Katana. He's not going to pick a character he doesn't know how to play in tournament with points on the line. Whether he sticks with Katana is a different story. I don't see him sticking.
You're probably right that I'm looking for Jade here. I think that may be the pick, because when they played at the beginning of this top 8, his Jade was so successful. He is going to go back to the same Katana. Wow. Very interesting choice for a player who has looked great on Jade so far. Yeah. But just doesn't believe in it here, I guess. And it's not like he's not taking this seriously. Again, when I asked him what he thought about Vegeta, he said, I would consider him one of the best here, and he has a really tough play style to deal with. So he certainly thinks highly of his opponent. He is not just doing it to do it. He thinks this is the right call, I guess.
Yeah. He definitely does. This could be a character that maybe he didn't play against Vegeta in casuals as much. Right now we're seeing the Batsy Pew Pew really working out here, as Katana doesn't really have a straightforward teleport that acts super duper fast. So it's tough to get around those low shots. Immediate forward throw here coming out of Vegeta, knowing that Wazinator was going to hold on to block after putting himself negative.
But we are seeing slowly the move back to the corner, like we saw in the last game. It's kind of just, here it is, right? The hit comes. Surely a break? No, finally. But nevertheless, caught in the corner exactly where he was on the other stage, is Waz. No OS after the jump kick, but at least build some space between him in the corner. Not for long. Not for long. It feels like Vegeta is just pushing his opponent to the corner, and then, Waz battles, surely, but each time, Vegeta comes back in with something like forward 1, something like stand 2, and just takes control again, just like here.
I also see Vegeta not fully, he's not diving in completely into the corner. Like here in this scenario for Oki, he is, but when it's a little bit more neutral, he's giving Waz breathing room because he doesn't want Waz to jump over him and get out of the corner.
Oh, Waz has got to settle down right now. This fast 2-0 at this point, where Vegeta in that game especially was a buzzsaw. Waz was trying to wake up. We saw wake up and it took counter hit on the button. We saw wake up, it didn't press counter hit. And I remember before we've been talking about how Waz has liked to do wake up jumps, right? It's effective. There's certainly a lot of mix-up around it that make that effective, but it's not gonna work if you're always active on wake up, it's not gonna work. Waz is not always active on wake up, but in that round in particular, each time he was trying to do stuff, and each time Vegeta had the call correctly, and he's got a character who takes such great advantage of it with such big damage output. So now, what do you think, Darth Armament? Do you think that Waz is going to stay Katana? Do you think he's going to switch?
I think he's something's in his head that's telling him that, this is the pick to go, but I feel like what happens to a lot of players is when the time to change was a game ago, and he doesn't want to change now. I mean, maybe he will. Yeah, looks like he's going to Patreon. So both predictions.
He rockets on the tier list. Rocketing up. Okay, what moves does he have here? What do we got?
I know we've been seeing a lot of the same three. It's a lot of teleport with Earthquake and with the other move with the wind. The wind push is
Deadly.
Deadly wins. It's too good.
Exactly what he's got. Yeah, that is the most common set round that I've seen so far as well. Look at that. So unsatisfied with Katana, he's going to go to a character that has even more space control, even more mobility. And as you mentioned, you know, Katana can't... Well, okay. It's not going to matter if you still get dunked.
Definitely it's not going to matter. Yeah.
So he's got this character with more effective space control. Teleport in if there's going to be a Batsy Pew Pew.
Yeah, the Batsy Pew Pew is definitely not going to pay out big in this matchup. Teleport to get out of there. Again, this time, I'm surprised she didn't jump and teleport, but hold on a second. Big crushing blow, going to lead to some good damage.
Because of that teleport, Waz does not have defensive bar to try to mitigate that damage. So sure, Waz is running away, but he might need to end up doing more damage than he currently is. Vegeta just is walking and blocking. It's very classic stuff. He's not doing anything too wild on the approach. He's merely just walking and blocking. Not even walking right now. This man is hanging out on full screen versus Cetrion feeling comfortable.
Yeah, he doesn't want her to teleport out of the corner. And that's what he's waiting for. He's trying to trigger, you know, Waz to go for the teleport, but Waz is not biting. He said, I know you're looking for this, so I'm not going to do it.
What?
And that trade...
Did you see it go over the wall? Wow.
Not through.
That was so sick. Oh my god. Because that could have been a KB if it had gone through the wall. Anyway, it didn't happen. So that was amazing.
Yeah, if the wall got through, yeah, the Jack in the Box easily could have been a big crushing blow. A rather rare one, but, you know, a dynamic one nonetheless. Rock wall does get blocked.
Teleports out.
He's out of the corner.
But the problem is, again, if he gets hit now, okay, so 2-1-3 for the big punish. The restand.
Dashes out of there. Did you see that backdash, backdash, backdash? Just get me out of there. Get me away. I want my space. I want to zone. I want to control everything from this far away without taking too many hits. Down 4-2 rising wall. Very good stuff.
On the approach here.
Finally! Caught him jumping. Caught him jumping. Connecting that big
he's got to settle down. All of a sudden, Vegeta feels like he's moving quickly. Waz is taking advantage of that. Yeah, now all of a sudden we're seeing Vegeta run into some stuff. Not quite get some ball swap timings. Waz is definitely taking advantage of that stuff with a huge life lead and, in fact, the round. So Cetrion, look, he's got to win 3 straight with Cetrion. There's no possibility to switch at this point. But in that round especially, he looked good. I just hope that for Vegeta's sake, he doesn't sort of fall apart and feel like he needs to rush in, because in the previous 2 rounds, and even before that when he was playing against Katana, part of why he looked so good is that he was not rushing in. He was just content to walk up, find a range where he was comfortable, hang out for a little bit, walk up again. In that round, I think we saw a lot more activity. I'd like to see him settle a little bit.
Yeah, and I think he's also got another, at the very least, another variation that he's considering here. Batsy Pew Pew. It was working out in certain moments, like if he would hit the high gunshot, he would go for Batsy Pew Pew, you know, to stop all the Oki options from Wazinator. But right now he's really considering just re-upping and going right into the same variation. I honestly, I would rather see Joker utilize any other ability. I mean, even if it's the super jump ability. I don't know if he's got it equipped or ready to go, but no, he's sticking it out. He's sticking it out. I don't see it working. I mean, again, it got him some things, but you know, you do it on Waz's wake up after he gets knocked down and Joker Super Plus. All right, big deal. I block 4 things. I take a little bit of chip. It's not dynamic in my opinion. It's not, you know, make or break, so to speak, for this matchup. You know, obviously Vegeta is the impressive player, way talented.
That was 2 offensive bars just like that for a little bit of pressing the opponent backwards and a little bit of chip afterward. Okay, high shots. It does hit really high up. It's coming anyway. Yeah. All right, teleport out early. But again, that means that if now Joker creeps, there's going to be so much damage that she cannot escape. Like this. Oh, yes. Chooses not to spend the KB. Instead, it's just going to be regular old good damage. Regular old good 350.
No KB required at all. I mean, he had the bar, so he wanted to use it. I definitely agree with it. And that's what Waz was picking up on. He that's what he did before, as I mentioned it, getting hit with the high shot and then going to the pew pew. But this time Waz said, I'm not going to delay wake up. I'm going to jump, teleport, and full punish. I don't think this ability is going to help in this matchup whatsoever.
Ooh, the shimmy attempt, but Vegeta does not at all care about that. Look at the time now, 24 on the clock, and interrupts with the fantastic button that Cetrion's got. It's gonna be the round for Waz. So again,
what a challenge. Like, to get in between those two hits, it was so, like, there's almost no time in there. If Waz pressed that button like 2 frames later, I think he would have gotten stuff clean, like no problem. But Waz was so confident in it, so confident in the call out. Oh man, no! It's just
causing in the air.
Just getting you full comboed. I don't like it. I don't see it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Oh, he is certainly rushing a little bit now. We're not seeing flawless blocks on the boulders. Oh, he may have tried there and there. But yeah, he's running into all this stuff. Some of these are unforced errors. Cetrion would love you to just block, so she'd be plus after boulder. But if you get hit, even better. What an anti-air on the wall, and Waz just looks great right now. And Vegeta, I am concerned for. I want him to slow down in some of these situations, and he just hasn't. And I'm absolutely with you as well, that Batsy Pew Pew is not the go-to pick.
No, it worked like once or twice, and by work I mean it made Waz block 4 shots. But after that, he's like, nope, that's it, not happening anymore. Unless there's a specific setup that I just don't know about, where you can end a juggle into a cancel into the Batsy Pew Pew. But then from there, of course, you have options like forward roll or fully invulnerable up 3s.
It's gonna be
get that ability off the ground.
This is the decision here for Bijigo. This is the decision right here. We know Waz is, of course, locked into Cetrion. Bijiga has left the game.
He made quite a statement, I think, when he beat Waz the second time. I think he was feeling himself. Now we're on the completely other aspect of that, of like an all-time high to like, ooh, this hurts. This is maybe he's gonna go change something. Maybe he has to change a controller, something. It could be that. We're gonna figure out what's going on because
he's gonna change the loadout that he's got, which you have to go back to.
You're right.
Customize for.
Maybe he doesn't have the Joker ability that he has in mind again for this specific matchup, where you want to keep the box.
Yeah. It seems like a stretch. I don't know. I'm just making it up. You have
no. But let's say
only so many things.
That's true. Okay, let's say you're playing Baraka and you're like, oh, there's this one move that I know about, but I don't really know how to equip it with what. And then, it doesn't come to you until you're, looks like it was
okay. So he just said it was an accident because he thought that was already 3 that he had lost. He thought it was over. That's all. It's not. So we're going to get him back in. Just a mistake, unfortunately. That is, though, a tough tell because it's a sign that you're thinking that you're already defeated before you are. And it's pretty tough to come back from that mentally. Waz is here now, having tied it up 2-2, after having been at match point from the opponent. There was a round in which Bijiga had the advantage and had the round up, and if he had just completed that, would have won. And Waz has battled back, so Waz is showing that he's got that fortitude. I'd love to see it from his opponent here, but it's looking rough. It's looking rough.
It's a tough mentality to break from, to speak more of like what you were alluding to, and you've seen this, time and time again, not just in, these games, but all competitive games in general. Like once you start thinking like I lost, because sometimes it happens not necessarily at the end of a game, but sometimes people will think that like, oh man, I just got hit by Liu Kang's forward 4-3 and I'm in the corner. I lost. Like I've said that to myself so many times. Like that's it. I'm done. I'm checked out, and it's hard to come back from the mentality. And I think he can do it, though. Maybe he did utilize this time to go and equip a different ability for Joker, not go for the.
So it turns out that Waz also got booted. So although he apparently, our intel is that he thought he lost. It may have actually been that was a coincidence and that both players got dropped just because of something, whatever on the internet happened. I don't know. In any case, everybody, here's the final game of losers finals to try to get into grand finals where Shazzy's already hanging out, and we are seeing Liu Kang instead of Joker this time. Well, can he make it happen?
I was going to say, I want to see a little bit more challenging here. Oh, hold on a second. Great breakaway to get past those wins and get Cetrion on that recovery. And now this is where we've seen, Vegeta score big, specifically on this map, too, on this exact stage in the corner. But wow.
Vegeta, just patient as we have often seen. And now life lead here for Vegeta. Remember, there is a teleport as well for Waz. So Vegeta's not trying to be caught off guard. Not enough yet. It's not enough yet. Dash forward. Wall is enough, and Waz is at match point after having been down to Vegeta's match point 2 games ago.
Round 2. Fight.
Nearly 3 at this point. You see the jump. Nothing came that time.
Tossing rocks and just kind of Waz is just kind of establishing full control here, amplifying that rock wall to keep Liu Kang, and recognizing that empty jump. Maybe it was Liu Kang looking for something to block, something unsafe, but right here a hit confirm from Vegeta, hitting that amplified. Wait, what? It hit behind him. It hit behind him. It hit behind him and it led to a crushing blow.
Like, not just that, but I'm pretty sure he wanted to command grab and didn't get it, and it was the biggest happy mistake ever. Okay, flawless block. Maybe
how do you convert that? How do you see that and say like, oh, I know how to convert?
Trying to threaten. He's got the fatal, and Vegeta understands the threat. He will not press anything if he doesn't need to. Lost back and forth, dancing here. Can he find one more hit? Grab. Out of the corner just in case. And now he'd love to just chip away. Can he get it? He does! It's Waz with the complete comeback from down match point of Vegeta to his own victory just like that in 3 straight games.
And all it took was a lowly Cetrion pick with some of the best abilities in the game. That's all it took. That's all it took, David.
That's all. That and a lot of mental fortitude. And, his opponent, what Waz had to say again was that he felt Vegeta's very strong, but he also says that he's pretty new to the scene. He's only shown up in Mortal Kombat 11. Played online for months and months. Late last year, showed up to a few locals, did pretty well. Obviously, that hasn't happened in a while. But he is a relatively recent player compared to many. Already has had this kind of play up there. So, look, it would have been great for him if he had been able to get into grand finals. It's surely what he wanted. Not going to happen this time. That's Waz with the poise, with the experience to get through a tough situation like that. But I also think it's really good for Vegeta to see that there is already this level of play for somebody who has been playing less than many other players, already at a really high level. And, in the matches we saw from him, as I would say just about everything we've seen today, there's just a really good look for the future of a scene and strong new players and showing off to the world on NRS Esports tonight that they are very strong. So Waz moves on, but again, congrats to everybody else. He's the sole Australian who mixed it into grand finals versus the New Zealand player of Shazzy. The rest of the Aussie scene, I think, should still be very happy with how things went.
Yeah, no, they definitely should, and they should be very, proud of what they were able to showcase. Everyone from Australia, everyone from that Oceania region should be proud that they got to see some of their best players doing what they love to do. And being a new player, you go through a lot of like growing pains. So, Bajiga, I know you're like you might be super emo right now, but you learn to deal with the feelings. You learn to control those, like, oh, I lost, like I'm out of it, no problem, no. And a lot of very impressive plays, especially the victory before the losers finals. So what are we seeing here for grand finals, David? What do you
Okay, well, Swazi is going to go into the Johnny that we've seen from him most of the time, and he's been really, really strong with. In fact, this is the Johnny that got him through his opponent now in winners finals, right? But it's for Waz going to be Cetrion. This is a player who I asked him, which characters are we going to see from you tonight? He said David Frost. He said Jade. He did not say Cetrion. He didn't say Katana either, and those have been the last two characters we've seen from him. So now the idea is to try to control as much space versus Swazi as he can.
Oh, did you see that punish? And that was also meter management. Swazi knew that Waz didn't have the ability to amplify that rock wall, so he said, I know I have to press buttons right here. As soon as she's done pulling up this wall, here comes my foot right into her face. Definitely a good trade here for Swazi, but Wazinator getting a better exchange of it here. Now that actually wasn't a punish. It looked like it said reversal counter. We're not sure what Waz was doing. More than likely, he was backdashing because Cetrion's backdash. It has to be one of the best in this game. Good flawless box to minimize the chip damage. Oh my god, he's jumping in a lot, and it's just not paying off. Oh. That was fast enough to get in there. Back throw? Did he give him the back throw?
The corner. Definitely, yeah. And now, okay, hanging on. Out of the corner though, and that is some damage, yes, but boy, that is exactly where Waz wanted to be, and it's where he's very happy to start this next round.
He was so willing to just throw out Shadow Kick. He just did it. It's unsafe on whiff. It's unsafe on block. I mean, maybe he thought that Waz was going to backdash because that's what Cetrion's doing half the time, but that is a dangerous spot to be in there. Earth-shaking from that, or earth-quaking from that close. Especially against a player who's still on point. Right now, Waz with a beautiful whiff punish, leaving him in a standing position, trying to go with a little tricky mix here, canceling out of there, backdashing, and trying to get him to bite onto something. But Wazzy showing a little bit of, restraint here, not trying to bite after everything he's thrown.
Oh, is this a chance? No, not there.
Good block of the overhead there.
Yeah, Johnny's out just like that, taking damage here and there, and that's gonna be it. Yeah, it's gonna cost some life always to get back in on Cetrion. A little bit of chip here and there, especially with quick, and he just no longer had that. So game one goes to Waz. Now, Waz does need to win 3 out of 5, then another 3 out of 5. It's a pretty long road ahead, but the way that game went was basically good for him. I mean, I'm thinking back to maybe one of the key moments being when Swazi threw Waz out of the corner in that pressure situation, and then I think immediately felt like, oh, that was actually not great for me, and tried the Johnny kick, right? He immediately came in with the chase and got punished for it, and I felt like that was a big swing moment that maybe Swazi would like to have back. I'd like to see him try to control that corner more, even if, look, maybe the opponent techs, right? Maybe they tech your grab and you maintain corner control. You've done, I think 10 damage now is what they've lowered it to on just the initial bit before the actual softening of the throw. But you are still where you need to be versus somebody like Cetrion.
But it's also very frustrating that, like, even when you throw her in the corner, if she's got those 2 bars, she can amplify teleport out of there, and she is pretty much safe. I mean, what are you going to do about it? So it looks like Swazi's changing up the costume just a little bit here. Goes for some kind of challenge, and does hit Cetrion here out of the sky. Tries to go for a throw, but Wazinator was ready with a duck here. Didn't want to budge and just kind of predicted the throw as soon as he got close to in that range. And that's a safe assumption, especially considering how far advancing Johnny Cage's buttons are. All this block here
Using
from
the screen
Waz.
fireballs here. He had the arcing ones before. Okay, yep. You know that Waz wants to get out of the corner. Here it is. Wazzy not quite there.
Beautiful throw tech. Possibly a back throw, more than likely. And not going to be a chip avoided situation because he didn't have that second full defensive bar, but instead only had one, so only able to block one extra thing after being technically chipped out. Rising Star does hit successfully, and again, Swazi overcommitting there a little too early on that throw, or not anticipating the delay wake up. A little tough to see this late into the night, but we are trying here. Oh, big rock wall, okay. A throw tech. He's on point. Swazi is 100% on point. I mean, the mistakes are happening here and there, but the throw techs, the reactions, I see it all.
I love how these straight shots are working out for him rather than the arc. That's really been important so far. And he does take the risk. Slowly trying to chase. And just like that, Waz has the full screen yet again. The bouncing boulder. No, you cannot take that trade right now. Swazi's in big trouble. Again, you're gonna take a little bit of life here and there coming in, and he comes in trying for the kick. No dice.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing about that shadow kick is even if he did hit it, the shadow kick pretty much puts your opponent at full screen. So it's like, okay, cool. I'm still really far away, and you have to get in all over again. So, I mean, matchup-wise, like, I don't know if this is the right pick. I don't main any of these two characters, so I don't have a fun time playing Cetrion at all. So I can't imagine Johnny Cage having an easy time. Down fours, okay. Trying to take advantage of the fact that he is super duper plus on hit. Oh my God, Waz
away his block.
He was willing. He was willing to jump. So he could have
just got the bar. He just had the offensive bar that was so close. He waited for the roll. Let's go, Swazi, and he evens it up 1-1. That was beautiful. He called out the roll. Super sick.
So confident, too.
Frames at the end of it to seal it for even matches.
I mean, he even, like, he didn't even move. He hit Waz, he ended the combo, and he said, I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to wait patiently because you are going to forward roll. And if you don't forward roll, whatever, I'm not overextending. I'm not taking any risk. And I love to see gameplay like that. You know, sometimes people get really caught up in, you know, Oki situations in the Oki moment where they feel like, I got to do something. I got to go for low. I got to go for overhead. I got to go for throw. Sometimes you got to just go for nothing. Sometimes just wait. Just wait it out. And right there, Swazi showing a great example of that. Waiting it out, punishing that forward roll, reacting to it, recognizing that that's what he needed to do to win in that scenario, thus win in this round. And Waz is sticking it out here with Cetrion. I mean, I don't think he's not playing games anymore. No Jade, no Frost. Like, he's got to go super full-blown Cetrion here. What? Did he just hit that? Did he just hit that? The only way that comes out is if it's first hit or if it's from the dash cancel fatal blow, but the hitbox on that thing is so awful. Even when they fixed it, it's still an awful hitbox. Why did that work? I mean, I feel like Wazzy just won the whole tournament right there.
You should just give him the points. Just give him the points. Absolutely right. First place gets 250 points. Second place gets 260 points. That's a pretty big swing. Give those extra 90s over to Swazi for that one.
That was insane. Who does that? Who does that? Why?
All right.
Okay. Let's relax.
We're gonna try to move on. Yeah, I know, but that was
relax.
So
relax. Swazi's a guy. That's it. Okay. But right now he's not looking like.
There's no offensive bar here for Waz.
But just a quick second wall does it.
Yeah, unfortunate that I didn't get to see what. I mean, he took off half his life bar, and then he got nothing else after that. Like,
yeah,
then it was
right.
Waz just saying like, all right, cool. You wanna hit me with that stupid gimmick? All right, fine. I'll just play solid the rest of this round, and you're not getting anything.
That's still how it is right now. As Waz out, he tries to run, coming in. Yeah.
That down four doing a lot for Waz in here right now. He's doing a good job of like spacing it out. hitting it at max range. And again, she doesn't really have to do anything, super risky. She could throw up rock wall if she's close enough, or she could just back off. That's what she wants to be anyway.
Really actually teleported him out of the air for good damage into the reset, and right back to where Waz wants to be, the hit and run style that for him has always been strong. Regardless of character that he uses, it's always this kind of play style that he prefers. He's really making it work right now as Cetrion's too far, and Waz capitalizes. 2 games to 1.
Right now what I'm seeing from these last 3 games, the one where Swazi won, a little tight. Like, it was close. He had to really work for it. Good reads, phenomenal reads after, one after another. Where, like, with Waz's victory is a little bit less dynamic, a little bit more static, just Cetrion staying back, doing what she does best. It's definitely not getting in and getting damage. It's more about just doing, applying a little bit of damage, spreading it out there, little by little, hit by hit, whether that's from chip, whether that's, boulders that you weren't expecting, or rising rock walls that you didn't see coming, or just getting tricky with amplify or no amplify. That's pretty much what Cetrion does. And it's just stay back, use that backdash, which has to be the best backdash in the game. But Swazi could do it. If he won 1 game, he could definitely win the next 2. I think it's just a little tougher. And not only that, but he also has to start thinking about, end game. We're talking about this not being over if Waz wins 1 more match. We have another set, a set where Waz is free to pick a different character because it's a whole new set. So it really depends on, where Swazi's mindset is. Is he thinking now, or is he thinking later?
Well, the way it's going right now, it's going to be tough to even do it later.
Yeah. No, it's pure momentum here from Waz. If you're looking at the scoreboard, pure momentum. But that's not really Cetrion's playstyle. That's not really Waz's playstyle for the most part. He doesn't like to take risks. Right there, nice mid, leading right in some good combo damage. 20% into a restand, not bad at all, given that you get some free buttons afterwards, or a sneaky little throw.
Okay.
Stopping the boulders.
Not there. The punish comes. No offensive bar. Lucky moment, but Waz is there for the punish immediately afterwards. Grab. Oh, it's only gonna mean that she's further away. Oh my god! No! And ready for the throw. Hold on a second as Swazi's in! Using the glasses the way you actually see him this time. And not only with the W in that round, but also trying to contain Cetrion in the corner. She does have 2 defensive bars. Will she skedaddle? Maybe tried.
Possibly tried, especially when they take to the air. They love to teleport up there. You're not really expecting it, and there's so many different windows where she can actually do it. So he's got to be very mindful of that. But Waz, looking like he's trying to just stand his ground, not really trying to rely on that, just trying to, outspace him, maneuver him here in this side of the corner. Oh god, those are mid to mid.
Is exactly where that deadly winds leaves you. It's you get left at such a comfortable Cetrion spot. Although to be fair, it's a spot where Johnny is typically pretty comfortable too. Trying to chase a backdash, and now those defensive bars spent. She's out of the corner, and it's Swazi on the chase. Already with Fatal available to him, that cancels available to him. Waz, maybe knowing that, Waz takes the grab. Get away.
Little eruption here. Okay. Oh man.
Oh, he was looking for the breakaway. And Waz, who ducks and in there. And he's gonna spend the fatal blow. She's the character who's not gonna deal a lot of damage in that situation. So fatal blow instead. Oh man, even there where Swazi chased from one side of the stage to the other, Waz, by doing that, not just taking the round, but also ending up way outside of the corner, which is great for him as well. This is reset point for Waz here.
And oh man, that decision to go for throw, that has haunted Swazi so many times here. And I don't know if it was from the delayed wake up. I don't know if Waz just called it out perfectly.
He's got to chill. He's got to chill. He is running in the
It's so hard to chill when Cetrion is throwing everything at you. Lasers, rocks.
I'm telling you what he's got to do. I'm not quite how to do it either.
She's shaking the air. She's literally shaking the earth under you. You are not safe.
Find this moment, the block on kick, and here's Waz. Resetting the bracket, so effectively sending Swazi to losers, and now we're gonna play one more set of 3 out of 5. Whoever wins that is gonna win week 1 of the Oceania region for Mortal Kombat Pro Competition this year.
That's right. That's right. They're going to secure some good amount of points. But again, it's not over till it's over. We are in the grand finals here. The bracket has been reset. Swazi run the first set against Wazinator in the winners finals, and right now Waz tying up the score, running it back here. Doesn't matter what the final game score is. All that matters is the individual sets, the individual 3 out of 5s here. So now we're going down to a final 3 out of 5 between Swazi and Wazinator. No more extra lives, no more extra tournament. Elimination is right here. Winner gets first place. Loser gets second place. Still a lot of points, and a good way to kind of solidify, or mostly solidify, a good spot here for the end of this tournament series here. This is just the first week, guys. If you're just joining us, make sure you hit that follow button here on the NRS Twitch channel, and make sure you guys are following NRS Esports on Twitter so you guys are up to date on not just what's going on here in Oceania, but all over the world. So many different qualifiers, so many different events, all amazing stuff brought to you by the powers that do this the best here, making sure we all get some incredible content.
Yeah, maybe if you watch enough of it, you guys in the chat who were complaining about Setron so much will learn a little bit more about how to play the game. So Waz now, after the reset, puts himself in a good spot on screen. We're back to arcing force balls here rather than a straight shot. Did you see what else the change for Swazi?
I didn't. I gotta get into the habit of looking at the load screen, because usually you're just like, yeah, whatever, I'll figure it out.
Right? Yeah. I'm waiting to see the variation name like you could before, but that just doesn't work anymore.
No, it doesn't. So it looks like this variation name is called Wiz. I don't know if that's a shot at Wazinator or not. Maybe he's making fun of his name, or maybe that's some kind of other joke, but I'll take it as an insult right now, and Waz is not too happy about that. Leaving him in a standing position, forcing all this chip. Now the arcing fireballs here from Johnny Cage, very good max range, but not so great really up close, as it usually does arc and turn into a really slow high. Yeah, but from full range, mid
to get really out of there. Or Setron, I mean, she can't escape in that way, but that means that if you hit her again soon, she's just gonna melt. 15 on the clock. As Swazi needs to try to move forward here. The bouncing boulder, the earthquake. There could be another moment as he's running out of time. He knows it too. You know what? If he just keeps Setron in this corner, maybe that's not the worst thing in the world. You better not have thrown him out. Oh my gosh, thank you. Okay.
He's thrown her out so many times, again, just to kind of like show a little too much respect for the player, but right here, decides to keep her in the corner, decides to keep her forward.
Oh, my Waz, who then spends again those defensive bars for the hit confirm. Just like that, he's got to mount his way back in. The arc, yes, hits her out of it again. And in damage, that's okay. That's about even, but he's already down in life, so trades like that are not going to cut it.
No, definitely not going to cut it. Definitely not going to be enough. Oh, he was able to counter. Didn't get hit successfully, but Swazi just kind of, I feel like he pressed that button, but he didn't commit. He didn't say, like, this is going to hit. He just kind of threw it in there with the mentality that's going to be some kind of stagger. I'd like to see him utilize some interactable, but again, Waz just get the teleport out. I mean, he's working hard. He's trying to get her closer to the corner, inch by inch, foot by foot, and she's getting there, and then she teleports out. But she's got those bars. She's spending them, and she says, hold this backdash. You can't do anything about this. And
but that's not even right? Like, Johnny definitely can do the shadow kick, right? If you call the moment for when she does escape, like right there at the end, that wasn't the defensive bar's escape. That was actually just the close teleport. It was regular teleport.
Yes,
That doesn't
yes,
cost me.
those regular
It was
teleport.
just
Yep.
a moment that Swazi didn't expect it. So Waz is making these choices at times that Swazi isn't expecting them, and that's why they're working.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what your full screen characters, your full screen zoners. That's what they do. They're not just mindlessly throwing projectiles at you. They're trying to time them. You can't get too predictable because characters do have options for it. It looks like Swazi's going for Geras here. Let's pay attention to the loadout this time, David.
Right? Yeah.
So we got Beta
Spikes.
Yeah, Sand
He
Pillar
does
and
not have the command grab. He has the Sand Pillar, so anti-zoning. He has Quicksand, which I believe is the one that leaves you close afterward. I think that's the down back one that leaves you close. So he's got the ability to like semi-zone and also counter-zone.
Yeah, definitely counter zoning is what you're going to be looking for. But I think it's just the difficult part is making sure that Quicksand is going to hit in the right spot because it doesn't auto track. You have to specifically put it in those ranges, and that's not the easiest thing to do if you don't main this character. So I'm seeing a lot of unfamiliarity here in terms of like movement and sand placement from Swazi. I don't know how often he plays Geras, but right now it's getting definitely getting worked on here. As Waz is just in full control, he says, "Cool, you want to try to get a Quicksand? I will chip you little by little. I have Earthquake, I have Jump Laser, I have everything I need to deal with you."
Round 2.
On the plus side, I think if the Crushing Blow is ready now because we've had a couple of whiffed down back ones. Opportunity.
Yeah, could definitely see this as a silver lining here. It does lead into some good momentum, some good damage. Drops the forward knee there.
Waz just movement heavy on his wake up. He's done a lot of rolls, he's done a lot of jumps. Right now, he's under the earth, about to take this extra damage right back into the corner. So Swazi now has a chance to pressure up close. Yes, confirmed. Is there going to be a break? No, you would rather hold on to the defensive bar to escape. Okay, that's a choice for Waz.
The bold call out here with the back throw, knowing that, Swazi is a little too, not trying to take any kind of risk here and holding onto that block button for dear life. Tries to hit that up too, but it just barely whiffs. Hits the down forward Quicksand, and that definitely does not combo, but a lot of people are usually trying to challenge after some down pokes because down pokes don't combo into any special moves, even if the frame data adds up into it. Switching sides, going right into the Beta Spikes, amplifying it, trying to get a breaker there as Geras' Quicksand is his armor-breaking move. Not the easiest thing to hit, though.
Here we go. He's going to spend it. No.
It's not.
Maybe I was wrong. He didn't whip that many. I really thought he had.
All this block to minimize that pushback and minimize that chip damage. Trying to throw up the pillars to stop Cetrion from establishing laser pressure. Now Swazi, pretty good control here. Tries to go for the throw, but it's a little too predictable here as Waz just ducks under that and says, "Stop it. Stop it right now."
Huge defensive read. Puts Waz back now at this range where he'd love to be. We've had only one successful Quicksand in this whole match. Talk about Waz being so good at his moments to pick these times to zone that he has not been predictable at all with getting Quicksanded, which is not easy. It's not easy to do that. No, it's not going to cut it either. It's Waz 2-0 here.
It's very easy to fall into like certain patterns, but Waz has been doing a good job of not doing that, fighting certain urges and just kind of being in the mindset to play against his opponent. And right now, Waz on tournament match point here. He's got to win one more game, and that's going to be the second set for him. That's going to be the second defeat for Swazi. Swazi's got to kick it up a notch. I mean, Johnny Cage didn't work. Geras was getting somewhere. Geras was definitely getting somewhere. I doubted it during that first round, but he was able to make incredible comebacks. Able to secure, his own round, very decisive. I don't know. I don't know what else Swazi knows how to play. I don't know if he's got a Sub-Zero. I know sometimes people feel like Sub-Zero deals with Cetrion very well. Those people are usually down players of Cetrion, so I don't know how true that can be, but that is what I've heard. That Sub-Zero's amplified ice ball does go through a lot of the things that she tries, and it leads into a full combo, and it leads into a good situation for Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero.
Will he do it?
He's thinking about it.
Okay, yep. That's what it is.
We see his photo.
He's locked into this. Yeah, we've got to pay attention to that for sure. I'm sure there's a deep freeze on it.
Gotta be.
Fight ice ball. Yes, and air polar axe. That makes sense as well as a way to maybe attack if there is an earthquake under you or something like that, right? Or freeze yourself, or stop yourself in the air, I should say, if she does an air laser, something like that. I do like that as an extra little bit here. But he has to win 3 straight games to take this thing. You know, he's going to run it back on Sub-Zero or not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
He has the slide as well to make very quickly move. It's a risk, obviously, but it's something that is just, we saw him try it with Johnny.
Yeah. And then, the slide, if it does whiff, it kind of acts like a more mobile move to get you in there. Because it's a very, very tough thing to punish on whiff. Clipping the tippy tip of Cetrion's toes right at the bottom of those very strange looking heels. Able to get a good combo here, but Waz is out of dodge, but not too far away. Tries to go for the overhead, and it gets blocked.
This has been amazing. It hasn't come up super often because mostly he's been in control of the stage, but when he has been up close, when Swazzy has had pressure, he's had fantastic defense. Look at his blocking here. Those are not going to be nearly as much damage as the low. Oh, Swazzy, can he find it? Yes.
What a comeback. What a comeback here from Swazzy on the brink of death, the brink of defeat here, and he is writing a new book here for his comeback. His comeback is happening here. I can feel it. Straight 3-0, reverse 3-0 with none other than Sub-Zero. He's going to forward to his way to victory here. He's going to commit to some good buttons, some good jump ins, and some crazy flies.
He definitely did. He said that this character was his main when I asked him which characters to expect from him. First time we're seeing it here. Jumps over. Yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting out of the air axe. Look at this. I really like the movement. He's been able to force his way in quite a few times. Waz actually walking forward first. Keep in mind how many things he's gone for.
You see the confidence there and that walk forward? Like, just no way you're pressing anything. Oh, he's going to do forward again? No. Big jump in one.
Not so anymore. It's the damage. No more fatal.
Just a down 2 out of nowhere? Just a down 2 out of nowhere.
This is also really nice as well for Swazzy that Sub's forward throw actually does maintain pressure for him, and guess what? He's got a game. Finally, it has been a while. And he looked a lot better. He really did. That ice ball, the deep freeze, made it so that a lot of what Waz would like to do just wasn't an option, really. Now the question is, though, what do you think Waz is going to do? Are we going to see more Cetrion? Are we going to see Jade? Are we going to see Frost?
I don't know, man. I mean,
we did see him pick Frost before versus a sub.
That's true, and he did a really good job against whose Frost was that? I think that wasn't in Winners Final.
Sub-Zero.
That was before. No, it was maybe his first match before that one.
Was that? I remember did that happened in the first match of the Winners Finals. Maybe this was the same character pick that we're seeing now.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that is what happened. No. I don't remember. But he's going Jade. Either way. So it looks like he has Airglaive, the low. I forget what the dance is called. Never mind. We're going Frost.
Elia's dance. Oh no, it's going to be Frost. Let us know here. And keep in mind as well that when I asked Swazzy for his quote, what do you want us to say on your behalf to the stream? He said, buff sub.
Buff
sub.
I don't know, buddy. I think this character is doing all right.
We saw what sub just did to Cetrion, and I don't know about that one.
This is a variation of Frost that I think we've seen each time so far from Waz. So he goes in here, he's got the shield, he's got the auger, he's got the extra damage potential from the microburst.
Just a regular back throw here, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just starting off real nice and simple here. Wassinator poking back with down 4s. And again, just like you said before, he is so confident about throwing out that shield. Even though that shield stops nothing but projectiles, it's just kind of like a way for like telling his opponent, like, go ahead, swing. press something because I'm going to try to counter it here in the neutral. I was feeling real confident here with this Frost pick. The Augur is going right into it for a crushing blow.
Okay, out of the sky, Swazi could have, but just great breakaway time there by Waz. No.
I thought he was going to be able to slide before that.
Okay, here we go. Swazi would love to maintain this corner. If he could, no, he was maybe a little too patient. Is that a back throw? No, actually, but look, Waz is at tournament point here. Again, first place gets 350 points. Second place gets 260. That's a big change right here in this long season that we have here in the MKPK this year.
I mean, this is just the beginning, folks. So a lot of regions still haven't had their tournament. Again, be on the lookout because a lot of great things are happening. Breaking away. Oh, man. Augur is going to be able to convert in some good damage. Backing off and trying to utilize those very long-range pokes, which is definitely one of the better things about Frost. A lot of down force coming out of Swazi is he's just trying to, keep Frost blocking low, maybe trying to condition her to block low so he can open up for the forward two. That could have been
like that. So the forward two does come up. Swazi does get close enough. It's not going to matter as much, but Waz may not give him that chance. Just got breakaway. Doesn't matter. Waz only needs chip, but forward throw again leaves you close. So here's Swazi. Overhead, yes. He needs more. He needs more. Oh no! Oh no for Swazi. Not at all the combo route he wanted. There could have been more mix-ups. There could have been a knockdown. There could have been more damage. Whatever it was, is not what he got. Unfortunately, Waz wins week number 1 for Oceania. Looking good. This is the guy that I think everybody had as the favorite. It took him a battle through losers and a battle through Australia and New Zealand. But in the end, he comes away with first place.
Yeah, very, very impressive by Waz. Not only impressive to win the tournament, but to win it from technically the loser side, going down in winners finals and making the correct adaptation. Sometimes it's a change in mentality or sometimes it's an overall change in your character. And that's what we saw. That was very successful, a very easy way to, I don't want to say easy, but like a successful way to keep Johnny Cage away, keep him at bay and force him to use more risky tactics like going for these crazy shadow kicks when he thinks you're trying to backdash for days. And Waz is the most seasoned out of this Oceania region. Like he is a very, very seasoned veteran player who knows what it's like to play under a lot of pressure, to play against really tough competition. So, anybody losing to Waz tonight, you definitely don't take that as any kind of, negative other than like, all right, I lost. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to, look at the matches, study what I did wrong and, see what I can do next time. But, Cetrion, she's a great character. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that Cetrion sucks, but there's ways around certain things. It just takes a little bit of practice and you got to see what your options are. Depending on what character you're playing, you've got certain options to fight against it. But what an incredible top 8. This region, I'm really happy that you guys are getting a little bit of the spotlight and I'm really happy we get to see it. Ultra David, any closing thoughts? How do you feel?
Yeah, I think that's right. No, I agree with you. I'm really happy to have seen it. There's going to be a lot more. Let's take a brief look back at the bracket just to let all the players' names get out there again.
Yeah, shine one last time here.
The top 8 here. Yeah, no, really, I was impressed all the way through, just like I expected to be. It's just a scene that I don't see as often. But when I do, there's always strength. And what's great as well is that many of these players are players who have come up through MK11. There are some here who have been playing for a long time. There are others who have been only in just the last couple years, even last year, and have already had substantial success. So I think that's a great sign for the future of this scene. Again, this is only week number 1 of the Mortal Kombat Pro competition. There are quite a few events per region, and then each region has its own regional finals. So there's a lot more times to see the players here and the other players in their region. But I had a blast tonight.
super fun for me. I did it while wearing my Astro headset, of course. Thank you to Astro Gaming, the official audio partner of the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition. All caster audios powered by Astro for the entirety of the season, including tonight. You can visit astrogaming.com to find more information on all of their officially licensed PlayStation audio products available now. Check it out.
That's right. Check it out. Check it out. Yeah, man. And again, huge shout outs to PlayStation 4, who is also sponsoring this event. And that's what, this was all played on. That's what this whole Pro Tour for Season 2 is going to be played on. So you definitely want to, check out what the PS4 Tournament Open Series is all about. The Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition is presented by PS4, just like I said before. Be on the lookout. PS4 tournaments are always on, so be sure to check out all the available titles with tournaments happening right now. Maybe not right now, but a lot of times. PS4 tournaments are weekly competitions for all skill levels. Compete against your friends and rivals for unique rewards. And again, if you guys want more information, you definitely just got to go to compete.playstation.com and sign in with your PSN. It is that simple, and you'll get everything you need right then and there. And yeah, I guess that's it for us. Ultra David, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for joining me on the mic. And big shout outs to our sponsors. Big shout outs to everybody behind the scenes making this happen, making sure that we at the NRS community get all this amazing content, all these great tournament matches, and just incredible gameplay all around. David, I love you, buddy. Anything else?
We're going to be back pretty soon for the EU East. We're going to be doing the EU West as well. That's, I guess, tomorrow if you live in parts of the world, or later today in other parts of the world. That will be 9 a.m. Eastern time, Eastern North American time, 4 p.m. locally for the EU East. Check back to twitch.tv/NetherRealm where you're watching right here for that. See you, everybody.
Jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.
PlayStation. Looking for attention, I don't need the extra tension, cause I'm in the fourth dimension, trapeze high in suspension. Now don't bother with the haters, cause they all be imitators. Real life manipulators, get it back up and see you later. I like me for me, I'ma be what I'ma be. I like me for me, I am who I wanna be. Na 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 na. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. I like me for me, I'ma be what I'ma be. Prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself. I like me for me.
Hey guys, Ketchup and Mustard here, and it's time to test your might in the Mortal Kombat 11 Open Series. Ready to rumble? Power on your PlayStation and head to the Events app, filter by type, and select a convenient date and time. Boot up MK11 and locate the PS4 Tournaments menu option. Click it to visit a familiar place, the Console Events tab. Sign up and prepare to play. Once registered, you can view your tournament details and check-in time. A notification will remind you to tighten your black belt and get over here for your match. Continue combat in the open qualifiers to close in on the competition. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the tournaments.
I'm your worst nightmare.
Any ring I step into is mine.
End of the line.
Then this fight is now personal.
It is exhausting being so perfect.